Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Talking with T. I'm your host, Chris Tatarian. Today we're going to be taking a long boat ride over to an island where the fate of the world is in the hands of mortal combatants. Today, I'm going to be talking to an Evo champion, a legend in the NRS community, one of my good friends, Rewind. Rewind, welcome to the show, brother.
What's going on, bro? Appreciate you having me.
Appreciate you being here. Stupid. We had to start it off. All right, my brother. So obviously you're not a Street Fighter player. Not until recently. You're a Mortal Kombat guy, but I kind of helped you dive into the Street Fighter realm a little bit when Street Fighter 6 came out. But it's very interesting to me how in my childhood, I started off with Street Fighter, but I also found Mortal Kombat. I also saw KOF 98, but somehow my journey ended up with me being a professional Street Fighter player. For you, though, it was a different route. So I want to know how it was that you found Mortal Kombat and started this journey of being a pro player. What's your story like?
Yeah, so I remember my first time even touching MK being around when I was probably like 5 or like 6. Maybe even younger, honestly, but from what I can remember, it was 5 and 6 or something like that. Like I was a kid. It was definitely before I was in elementary school.
Is that like your earliest memory?
That's my earliest memory of like the first times I like saw MK with my eyes. Type.
I got you.
Yeah, so it was because my mom would take me over to my who I thought was like my uncles and aunts, but they're really just my cousins. They're just so much older than me that I just viewed them that way. And that's how my mom introduced me because they're just older. And they were like older, so they're like probably like 15, 20 years older. Like one of them already had a kid. Like we would go over to their house, and two of my cousins who were older, my Uncle Ken and my Uncle Steve, they always had Tekken and they always had MK. My, my Uncle Ken was more of the Tekken guy. My Uncle Steve was more of like the Mortal Kombat guy. But they both played both games, but like they obviously took a favor to the other, one or the other, you know? It was almost like they had different communities in their household. Like, one guy was just dedicated to Tekken, and one guy just dedicated to MK. So I just saw MK, and it just for some reason, like I love Tekken. I only love Tekken because of Eddie Gordo, but I liked MK because just like it was just such a different approach on. I've never seen that was the first game I ever saw take an emphasis on gore. You know.
Which MK are you talking about?
I think one of my first MKs I saw was Armageddon. It was like all three of them at the same time. It was Shaolin Monks, Armageddon, and Deception. That's the three they had in the crib. That was
Okay.
so that just shows my age, kind of low key, because like
Yeah, I was about to say because my first MK was
like the first
me
one.
seeing MK3 in the arcades in Kuwait. I remember seeing MK3 caught my attention because of Shiva. I'm a little boy, and she got some features on her, and I know it's kind of wild, but I saw that and I was like, bro, what the hell is this game? And
Yeah.
it just caught my attention. But that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, and so like those were my first games. That was like PS2, PS2 era. That was like I had a PS1 and but like PS2 was when I started to get a little older, but I was still a kid, obviously. But like most of my like I feel like very memorable youthful days playing video games as a kid were during those like PS2 days, you know?
Yeah, same here, man. That was the golden era for sure for a lot of us.
Yeah, like my uncle was only like 6 years older than me. He was like, I was 6, he was like 12, like
Mm.
so he was like still a kid, but he still like was a little bit older. Like he was about to touch his teenage years, so he was gonna like stop hanging out with a 7-year-old kid.
Right, right.
But yeah, he used to always play MK2 as well. So Shaolin Monks, I used to like it because I could play like co-op with my uncle. We would both just play the story mode in co-op. So I was always like playing Kung Lao. Like that's why I always say Kung Lao is my favorite character.
Yeah,
Because I don't
yeah.
really play him like that, but like that was like the first character. That was like one of the two characters in Shaolin Monks, and for some reason they just made Kung Lao like probably that's my favorite version of Kung Lao in any MK was Shaolin Monks, which isn't even like an actual 1v1 fighter, but Kung Lao is just one of my favorite.
Why is that? Why is that version of Kung Lao? I'm not gonna say Kung Lao like you're saying it. I'm gonna say Kung Lao. Why was that your favorite version?
Bro, but Kung is how you say it. Like,
Is it
it's
really
not
how
Kung.
you say
Like,
it?
if you pick Kung Lao, see, you got me saying Kung Lao and shit. Like, you got.
See,
So if
that
you
was natural though. It came out.
if you
It
pick
came out
Kung
natural.
Lao on the character select screen with Shao Kahn's announcer voice, he says Kung.
Yeah.
So I pretty much in my head, I think however Shao says the character's name is how it's said. Because he's been the voice of like every MK. He's like,
How does he do it? Let me hear the voice.
bro, you got it, bro. Your voice is definitely closer to Shao Kahn than mine, bro.
Nah, not when you did it earlier. No,
Bro,
that was crazy.
nah, but yeah, Kung Lao, one of my favorite characters, and it was all because of Shaolin monks, and yeah, my uncle Ken, or not Uncle Ken, my uncle Steve, um, introduced me to the franchise. Kind of, yeah, it was just cool, and that's crazy. Like, I started taking MK serious like so much later, so it's like kind of crazy how like early I was introduced to it though.
So what like happened once your uncle started going into his teenage years, and how did you find the fighting game community? How did you what happened after you found Armageddon and Shaolin Monks? Like, did you become an MK player throughout your PS2 years, or was it like you playing traditional shooter games and adventure games like most of us were, and then you stumble upon MK9 when that game kind of got hot, and you found the community through that way? What was that like for you?
What stumbling upon the community?
Yeah, like how did you like was MK the game that you were rocking with for all these years throughout the PS2 games, and then you just kind of grew into the MK scene, or was it like you stumbled upon it?
It was so weird. It's weird. It's weird. So okay, I'm gonna actually just break down the timeline. Okay, so
Okay, yeah,
I
perfect.
was like, okay, it goes from like me being like 5 or 6 playing MK for fun because my uncles introduced it to me, but like I never actually had these games at my own house. I only could play it when they go to their house. Like I just didn't have, and like good luck getting your mom to buy you a game that's this gory at 5. Like I
Yeah,
couldn't get my mom to buy that game for me. It was just too crazy. Like she saw us playing the game when we was at their house. So like she knows that this game is kind of crazy. You know, she's still trying to be a good mom here. Like it's like rated R. This is the game that made, them create the system of rated M for mature, bro. You literally like there's no rated M for mature without MK. Like that's not
of
even a
course,
rating. So think about that.
of course, yeah, of
And
course.
then so yeah, I never actually had the game. And then so think about that. I'm about 5 or 6 playing MK. Right. I start getting like 7 or 8 years old. I start getting into sports. So I'm like playing like NBA 2Ks and NBA lives. So and I get to play with my brothers, like, my brothers on my dad's side. I'm mixed. My mom is Chamorro slash Guamanian and my dad is just black. So like with my black family, like they wasn't into like fighting games. Like they was into sports. So we was playing Madden. We was playing I couldn't do anything in Madden because I just wasn't into football enough to like, they were just too advanced with it. They have high IQs. So like they would just run plays that they know no sick little kids they will stop. Like
Yeah, yeah,
they're gonna
yeah.
exploit my knowledge. But yeah, so like I was playing like NBA Lives, NBA 2Ks around 7, 8, 9, and then I started getting into like Call of Duty. So it was like I was playing like Call of Duty from like 10, 11, 12, you know. And then so around 20 when around 11 MK9 dropped. So MK9 dropped at around 11, but I didn't even have I didn't grow up like what the mean my family didn't grow up with the means to just buy me like the most modern console. I was always a generation behind until I was like 12. So like all my friends were talking about, yeah, bro, you got that new console. I'm like, bro, I'm still on PS2.
Yeah.
Like, y'all got PS3s? Like, and then I was like, damn, how much did it cost? He was like 300, 400. I'm like, yeah. My mom wouldn't even get me like $100 pair of shoes.
Yeah, of course, of course.
So how am I gonna get if I can't get $100 pair of shoes, how am I gonna get a $400 video game? Like, that just doesn't make sense to her head. Like, we're living paycheck to paycheck, bro. We can't afford to just buy the most, and that's what the most modern MK was on. The MK9 was on PS3 only. It wasn't on PS2. You could
It was on 360 as
at
well.
360 as well. So like, and PS3 and Xbox 360 came out in '05 and 6. So think about it from and when '05 and '06, I'm like 5 and 6. Like my age was pretty much always matched up with the year almost. So like '05, '06, like between '05 and '06 to 2011 when MK9 dropped, the console's already been out 6 years. That just showed you how long I was still on PS2. I was on PS2 until like 2012 or no, no
Wow.
2011, 2011. I finally got because I remember I was so into Call of Duty Black Ops 1, bro. I was so into it as a kid. Like I feel like I was a sweat person. I feel like I was a sweat.
Yeah.
Like that
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
the first time that was probably the most competitive I can remember myself being early in a video game.
Same here. Mine wasn't Call of Duty Black Ops. It was Call of Duty 4 Modern
Damn,
Warfare. I was more
oh
of an
that name,
Infinity Ward guy.
oh that name. But but yeah, so Black Ops 1 was the first time I was like my brain could remember being like so competitive about a video game to the point where I'm putting in time to get better and like I'm trying to get my aim right. I'm playing pubs. I'm caring about my kill death ratio. Like,
All the skins, all the skins for the guns, trying to get the gold
yeah,
skins,
I'm
everything.
trying to get all the perks pro. Like, I care about my KD. Like, you when you care about your KD, you trying too hard. Like, but so yeah, but damn, that's kind of crazy. I've actually never thought about that. Like that, my first time being really competitive was a Call of Duty. That's kind of random because Call of Duty's not in my rotation at all nowadays.
Right, but Call of Duty players make for great fighting game players. Call of Duty players make great fighting game players because the reaction speed that you need to have in Call of Duty is very, very fast. So I always felt like people that are really good first person shooter gamers make excellent fighting game players.
Yeah, maybe that's true because I've never seen a fighting game player who's never touched a COD look good at COD.
Exactly.
I've never like my homie Skeezer, bro. I'm sorry, name drop you, bro. I just name
It's all
drop
right.
him.
We put him on blast. That's okay.
But yeah, I saw my boy Skeezer play a Call of Duty,
Yeah. Sus.
and he was using the D pad.
Oh no, no, no. I'm gonna
Oh,
edit. I have to edit that out. That's sinful. That's sinful behavior.
nah. So like it's just I don't know why. I've never actually thought of myself as like a Call of Duty player who turned fighting game player.
Exactly.
That's
Right.
actually because that's where my whole gamer tag originates from is Call of Duty. The
Okay.
whole rewind thing, I got it because I used to be obsessed with like trick shots and like kill cams and like I remember I used to look up kill cam like compilations as like a little kid, like
Hell yeah, bro. Throwing
tomahawk
knife videos, quick
complications. Yeah,
scopes.
like
Yeah, he said tomahawk.
no, for real.
Ah,
Have
dang,
you ever
that's
seen the
how it started
ballistic
off with, yeah.
knife kill cam? Like I'm talking like trick shots with ballistic knives.
Yes, bro. Yeah,
So I
no, it's
used to be
crazy.
obsessed with like those kind of videos, like montages. No, it's the montages, not the compilations. They used to call it montages back then. Yeah, yeah. So they had montages and I don't know why. I kind of just wanted a name. Everybody that was super sweaty in the Call of Duty community always had like a Call of Duty looking ass name. So I was like, what name could I make that just looks fire if you die to this dude? Like if I get
Rewind.
right, bro. That's not sound hard.
No, that sounds sick. Like rewind. Play that shit back. Look at that one more time.
Bro, so and I'm like, I think I made my gamer tag when I was fucking 10, bro. But yeah, I made my gamer tag when I was 10. I just kind of kept it because I've never got any like real I've gotten nothing but compliments on that tag, you know? And it's kind of sounds kind of corny, honestly, but there's no other person really named this in our community, in the entire FGC that's relevant. Isn't that crazy?
It's not as corny as Chris3495. I can tell you that.
Is that you?
I was not good with coming up with gamer tags. To
What
this
the
day,
hell
I'm
are
not
those
good with coming up
numbers?
with. That was my birthday.
Bruh.
I didn't know what a gamer tag was, and then like because that's what it asks you when you first get 360, and I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna put my name and some numbers, or what numbers? Just put my birth date on it. So I
Damn.
think I was like 13 years old at the time. But yeah, I mean, there's kids out there with way better gamer tags than Chris3495. But
Hey,
hey,
bro.
that's the gamer tag that people knew me by.
I mean, all they saw was Chris, so it's easy to change up. But
Anyway, keep going, keep
no,
going.
yeah. So, bro, we steered so far off topic. Like, I gave you the I gave you the breakdown of like what games I was playing up until I stumbled up to the MK9 community, or pretty much the FGC. I didn't really even
No, that's
stumble
fine.
across.
This is fire.
I did.
This is
I didn't
fire.
even stumble across the FGC in MK9 though. I stumbled across like my homies that I like to play MK with in MK9. Like, I didn't know about the FGC until like around when Sonic won Evo 2014. Like when Sonic
Mm.
Fox won Evo 2014 for Injustice 1, uh, that was the first time around that time, that's when clans were like dying and it was turning into like teams, you know?
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't cool to be on like a clan anymore. It was like, bro, do you got a sponsor, you know?
It's funny because in the FGC, that was the era of the clans. How many people had some ghetto ass
Bro, it
jerseys,
was like
ghetto
whoever
ass
could be on
gamer tag?
the most teams at once. Like I remember Rio.
Yeah, bro.
I
It
remember
was so
Rio.
many
Oh my god.
fake sponsors, fake ghetto shit running around
Bro,
rampant in the community. It was the
freaking what was
funniest
Rio, bro?
era, bro.
It was like Emperor VVV, fuck C80. Like I'm like, bro, you have so much stuff like hitbox. I'm like, bro. I mean, he did have a hitbox though. He was like the first NetherRealm Studios player I've ever seen play a
Yeah,
hitbox.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that was around the time where like, so damn, watching Sonic was the first time I was like, damn, what are tournaments? You know what I'm saying? So like the whole idea of tournaments is what got me into the fighting game community because I didn't. All my friends were just in my clans. Like I can't even remember like that first moment where I like joined the clan. Like I know, bro. I can't even. I think my first clan
For
ever.
Call of Duty
No,
or
no, no.
for like
Oh my
for MK?
god! You see, you just opened a whole nother layer. Like I forgot that like I was in clans and like Call of Duty. Like I was in Call of Duty clan. I'm talking like, bro, clan battles. Like, come on, bro. Like
What clans were you part of?
in like what MK9
Nah, like
Call of Duty,
in Call of Duty.
bro.
Yeah.
Nothing relevant. Nothing relevant. Nothing relevant.
Nah, it's okay. It's okay.
I can't
Say
even
the names.
remember though. Like
Do
that's
you
the thing.
remember? Okay. What about MK? What about
Bro,
MK?
the funny thing is, we're gonna open up a whole nother layer of rewinds, like early childhood video games.
Yes. Yes.
I actually was a sweat. So my first time getting really sweaty at COD was on Black Ops 1, right? We already know this. But it was actually on the Wii, bro. It was on the Wii. I didn't even have because I told
On the Wii?
yeah, because I couldn't afford a PlayStation 3. Like my mom would not buy me something that expensive. So she bought me a Wii though. And for some reason, Wii's, even though they were the same generation as Xbox 360 and PS3, it was like a way cheaper console and it was just meant for kids, you know, like it wasn't even like
Yeah.
you couldn't even we didn't even have an HDMI port, bro. You couldn't even have that fucking console in HDMI, like in HD. Like if you ever seen Call of Duty Black Ops 1, the gold camos, they're not even gold. They're like mustard yellow.
Mustard.
They're like mustard yellow. The graphics on the Wii were horrible, but that was the first time you couldn't get Call of Duty like unless you had at least the Wii. The bare minimum was the Wii. That's the worst version you can get. And that's how I got introduced to Call of Duty. That was my first Call of Duty ever. Call of Duty Black Ops 1 on the Wii. And then I used to see YouTube videos of the gold camo on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. And I was like, bro, that looks like actual gold they're shooting, you know? Like it looks till this day, I feel like Call of Duty Black Ops 1's gold cameo was the best gold cameo in COD history.
What ended up making your mom buy you the console for MK?
That's actually crazy because I remember the first the first 2 games I got for PS3 were 3 games were God of War, um, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, and MK9.
So she just said to hell with all the parenting, right? She did all those years of keeping you protected. She was like, all right, you're a grown
I
man
don't know
now.
why she okay.
Time to see some
I
blood
think
and some
she knew
shooting.
I think she knew how, and I was super into sports. Like I was playing on teams and stuff like that. But gaming, I was into it so much earlier, like from like when I was 5, you know, like, and that was clearly like one of my core hobbies. You know, it was like I was always just like for fun, like just playing the game. Like I'll play NBA 2K, bro. NBA 2K has a huge part of my history, bro. I used to take 2K too serious. Like I used to like really play anybody who if you said you played 2K, we're playing like I have to see how good you are. Like I have to see if there's somebody better than me. And I used to just kill all my homies in 2K. Like 2K was one of the first games that I felt like I'm like, damn, I'm really like better than everybody I play in this shit. Like, you know?
Okay.
And then there's
So early booster confidence right there for sure.
yeah, my competitive confidence. Like that's one of my Call of Duty was competitive, but it was like it was all at the same time. I was playing
Yeah.
2K and Call of Duty super serious at the same time. I used to play 2K I was just playing games. Like I was just playing video games, bro. Like I just had to be play. I had to make sure I was sharp in 2K so I could beat my brothers. Because my one of my oldest brothers, he he used to always take his IQ as he used to always gas his IQ, bro. He always thought he was just like he was just thinking on a different layer than everybody. Like he's just so smart. And then every time we play on the game, I'm just beating him like off the simplest. I'm exploiting the game. He's trying to run plays. Like I learned early like how to abuse something that's broken, you know? Like I looked up YouTube videos
Hell
of
yeah.
like broken moves in like 2K11 to see like how can you cheese somebody. Like he was like trying to run like pick and rolls and shit. I'm like, get out of here, bro. Like I'm not he used to get mad when you didn't like man up. You know what manning up is? Like you have to
Yeah, like
guard him
man up
yourself.
on defense. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I used to just let the CPU guard him because I knew the defense in 2K when you were trying to man up back then, it's not what it is today. You can actually man up in this game, this era of 2K. Back then, you could not play two defense in 2K. It was so offensive heavy. It felt like when you're on offense, it was impossible. It was like you could just shake people so easy. When you're on defense, it was impossible to stay like in front of the player. They
So
didn't.
how did you defend against them? How did
I literally didn't. I didn't man up. I used to just guard. So what I used to do on defense is I used to just let the CPU guard my brother,
yeah.
and then I would just try to jump in passing lanes when he would try to pass to his teammates. Whenever the CPU would guard him, if you could tell in 2K when you're about to get ripped. Like when you're about to get the ball stolen from you, you could tell like you better give that shit up because you're about to get put in an animation where you get ripped. And so I knew he would just pass it. I was adapting early. Like I feel like NBA's 2Ks were the first time where I was like developing adaptations, like tendencies and shit. So like he would always just pass when he was getting overly guarded by the CPU. So anytime he was doing that, I kind of looked at who he was more likely to pass the ball to. And then if he was about to pass to him, I would press X, switch to that character that was guarding the person I thought he would pass to, and just try to steal the ball when he passed it to him. Like I used to just jumping the passing lane. And,
That's literally a read. That's literally
yeah,
having a read and committing to it. It's crazy.
that's what I'm saying. So like I would just and then every time he would play me, anytime I knew how to so it was kind of broken, right? So I used to exploit the fact that if you let the CPU guard you, like he wasn't aware of this. He was so much older than me. He had kids. Like I was YouTubing like cheese, you know? So he would well every time I had the ball, he would always try to guard me. I told you the defense in 2K like back then, they were horrible. You could not stay in front of anybody. Like you literally are going to get shot in front of, blown by. Like the game wasn't designed. They just didn't put much effort into the defensive side of it. Like so if you're trying to man up, like you would try to move, you're sluggish. Like it felt like the dudes out your guard was always faster than you, you know? You would get shook so easy. So to bypass that, I wouldn't man up. And he would try to man up on me because he just felt like that was the right way to play 2K. Like, you know how in fighting games, it's not about how you think the game should be played. You got to play that game for what it is if you want to be the best player.
Of course, yeah,
Like
you have
Mana
to
RD,
adapt to the game's
he's
mechanics.
one of the best Street Fighter 6 players because he knows how you have to play the game, and it may be is sporadic and like erratic, and it seems like gambles. That dude just it doesn't ever seem like he's just doing the right thing all the time.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
whenever you think about, damn, what if he just blocked that DP? You know, like he could just block that. He DP twice. You know,
Yeah, the thing about Mena though is
he has
that
the read.
people think that he goes kind of ham,
Yeah, but it's
and
like a
early
controlled
on,
ham.
early on in his career, even I thought that the way he played Birdie was very carefree, aggressive, just kind of going ham. And something that Mena has done over the last few years is show the world how absolutely insane his neutral game is. Mena Mena has the hardest neutral to bypass I've ever fought against in my life. And this is coming from somebody who's played against every single top player you could possibly think of. I've played against them all. Mena has the hardest footsies to bypass. His neutral
That's
game
huge praise. Does he
feels
know this?
impossible. Oh yeah, absolutely. Bro, I played with him for months
You're the
in
first person I've
preparation
ever
for Street
seen
Fighter
literally
League.
say that Mena got like the best neutral.
He has the best neutral. It's not even close. Like when you rank it, it's not even close. Mena's neutral is unstoppable. So having experienced that, these are. Uh, I completely forgot as to why I mentioned that in the first place. Why you mentioned Mena, but it was about
I was
what
saying that like playing he's really good at playing the game how it's supposed
he's
to be
really
played.
good at playing the game. How he's
You know how
exactly,
some people will be like,
exactly
I'm not going DP 3 times because it could get baited and I can die.
right, right.
He's like, well, if I know that he thinks I'm not gonna fucking DP, I'm gonna DP because he's gonna
Yeah.
try to meaty me 3 fucking times. You know?
The crazy thing is that I've never even seen Mena go for such a read like that. But
I mean,
if
I
anyone
feel
is gonna
like,
go for it,
yeah.
he's
Okay,
gonna.
maybe
It
I'm
makes sense.
overreading
Yeah.
the situation. Like when I,
No, no, not at all, not at all. I know what you mean. You're talking about
because
the layer upon layer. If I know that you know, then I know, and
exactly
then
the
that
risk
can go
reward, like looking at the
exactly.
what's the health difference, how much meter do I got versus how much
Of
meter
course.
he
Now his
got, what's the drive
understanding.
meter, like
Yeah,
all
yeah.
that
His
influences his
understanding.
decision. It's not like he's just doing just
Mm-hmm.
shit. He's
Of
doing.
course.
He may
Of
even
course.
tell you why he did something, and this is what makes great players great because if you ever just say like, okay, you know how everybody looks at Japan, how like their play style is just like the most purest Street Fighter footsies, like their Street Fighter,
Yeah, yeah.
like Mount Rushmore. Of course they are. That is true. But you you ever just see like Takedo and Daigo do DPs where you're just like, if I
What the?
did that, I'm gonna get
Yeah.
called ass. I'm just
Of
saying.
course. No. Of course.
If you
Of
ever put
course.
some Japanese players on an unknown account and tell them to play ranked and they fight like a known player and they do a random DP, that shit is you're gonna be like, bro, what is he doing? But if you know that it's a Japanese player, all of a sudden it's like, man, that DP was.
That was a that was a really big phenomena that
Bro, I've
I
seen them do
saw
crazy
for a
shit.
very long time. Yeah, no, of course. But I'm talking about in the Street Fighter 4 to Street Fighter 5 era, that conversation was also being had. But something that a lot of people don't understand is yes, they are amazing, but they play against each other constantly every day. And when you play against
Bro,
somebody,
yeah, the whole
when
country
you're
of Japan
playing
is like
against your
smaller than
training,
Texas. Like,
exactly. So your whole training partner, that pool is filled with killers and you're used to every single one of those players. So when you play them at tournaments, you know just how to fight them. And to be honest, bro, the matches that you have that last long where there's adaptability happening are those against your training partner. Those matches always look sick. Somebody makes a sick read or whatever because you guys know how each other play. So it looks really good. You get what I'm
yeah,
saying?
no, yeah, I do.
Um, but yeah, dude, we're gonna get into all of this. Uh,
Yeah, we only on like what question
yeah, yeah,
2?
yeah, yeah. We're still on question one.
Oh
I was
my
trying to figure out
god.
how you found MK, but
Hey, bro.
okay, so you find MK through Sonic winning Evo,
No, no, no,
and
not
then
MK. The FGC.
the FGC. That's oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
So I told
the
you when I
FGC,
found MK9, and then I told
right?
you when I found the FGC.
FGC,
Yeah.
right, right. My bad, I got that mixed up.
No, you're good. Yeah.
Obviously, you get into competing, you start winning, and then you're 17 years old and you go to Evo and you end up winning Evo for Injustice 2. I'm I want to know before you won Evo, what were some of the early challenges you faced in your career within the game and outside the game, such as mental, discipline, fear, money, etc., mechanical things that you were working on? Like, what was a challenge that you went through early on in your career with competitive gaming that you felt like was something that you needed to really work towards on overcoming?
All right. We'll start with how my challenges within the game, and then I'll bounce to outside the game because there were quite a bit of challenges.
Yes, please
And
share.
and there are challenges that like people like may or may not know depending on when you found me. And
Yeah, and that's why this is good.
so in the game, I felt like I felt like I was really good, and I was always like one of the best in my clans. Right, I was always like chasing like the players who were better, so I can see like how to get to where they were. Like it started with like being in clans and feeling like I was like one of the best. Like I always felt like I was really good, and then you fight somebody who's like better, and you're like you get killed, and you're like, damn, like I feel like I was really good. And then you play him, and then you play him, and then I think my I credit a lot of my level up to people's willing to mic up with me being like a squeaker and a little kid and asking like why they did what they did, you know? Like I remember the first time I learned an actual combo in MK9 from a dude who played Cyrax, and he did like a net combo, and then he just did a bunch of juggles and strings, and I was like, bro, this guy has to be the best player ever. This guy has to be the GOAT. Like I didn't even know there were combos in fighting games until that dude did a Cyrax juggle in MK9, some random dude. And then I
Yeah.
asked him how to teach me how to do it, and then I actually learned how to do a combo. And I was like, whoa, like I'm actually capable of learning. I thought I would never be able to do a combo. I'm like, there's no way I could do that. Like that's insane.
Yeah. It's funny because people are so scared of a combo when they first start getting into. They don't they always make it like, oh, so you do all those combos? Oh, so you know all those combos, you memorize them? I'm like, oh, the combos are the easiest part of the game. You have no idea how difficult this gets,
It
but the
gets
combos
deep.
are the easiest part. They're so daunted by the combos. It just takes some time with your hands and you can develop the skill. It's like learning how to build something. It'll take you some time for you to learn how to work
I
with your
think fighting
hands.
games just look hard, you know?
Yeah.
Like they just look like one of the hardest games there are to play. There's games out there that are super hard but look easy. Fighting games don't even look easy. Like, you know, like you look at a dude do a combo and you're looking at his hands and you're looking at the screen and then you get the controller and you're like, all right. And then you realize he's not just mashing. You're like, whoa, you're pressing all these
Yeah.
buttons by memory. Like it's like you're like inputting like a fucking password to a safe.
Yeah, it is.
Like if you fuck up one of those buttons, like you just drop the combo, you gotta restart the password. Like it's like so like people's biggest like epiphany with playing fighting games like that, people actually aren't just button mashing. You can't just button mash if you want to be good at a fighting game. Like that's not happening. Like at the highest, like I ain't gonna lie, Tekken is the only fighting game I've ever seen where you just mash buttons and cool shit comes out. Like I remember playing Tekken and I would literally just mash buttons. Like I remember in MK mashing buttons just didn't look as cool as it did in Tekken.
Yeah, of course.
So like because it wasn't a game that was designed behind like a bunch of like 10 hit. Keep in mind these Tekken strings aren't actually combos. They're not true combos. It's like they're just meant for casuals who just want to get on the fighting game and just do something that looks cool. They're never going to win you an actual match, you know. But yeah, MK now was like first time I learned a combo, and then yeah, so like I'm trying to remember where I was. Okay, we got tapped back into
Yeah, challenges,
challenges.
challenges.
Yeah, so around that time, like I was just trying to chase whoever was better than me, and then I got to like around MK. Oh, this is crazy. So my mom had like a freaking habit of buying me a console, like and MK at the same time. Like it became like a tradition. It was like every time she
That's
would give me a
fire.
console, I would get an MK too. Like it's not like she did that on purpose. I just always chose an MK. Like I was always like, okay, I gotta get the newest MK because I used to always think I could impress my uncle. You know, like oh, like my uncle, like he come over, I got the newest MK, we could play MK. You know, like
Your Uncle Steve.
Uncle Steve. Yeah, my uncle Moses
Yeah.
is my
Shout outs to Uncle Steve.
Uncle Steve, Uncle Ken, Uncle Moses, all of them. They all have like a very crucial part in my video game introduction. You know, like
That's beautiful, man.
my uncle
That's beautiful.
Moses introduced me to video games. I felt like I felt like he was the first person I ever seen like have a controller. I'm like, bro, what is it? Like I think it was GTA or something. Like I feel like GTA was like the first video game I like could remember seeing. Like you know, GTA is like old too. Like that shit goes back to the 90s.
I don't mean to take it off topic here, but have you ever have you ever told them their influence in the way that your life shaped out? If it wasn't for them, you wouldn't
I
have what
always
you
give them
are.
their flowers.
Yeah, man, that's
I
beautiful.
probably don't give
That's
my Uncle Moses enough flowers though. I've always given my Uncle Ken and Uncle Steve, especially Steve, because Steve introduced me to Mortal Kombat, you know?
yeah, yeah, of
I've always
course, of
gave
course.
Steve the most flowers because he introduced me to MK, but I always gave like Steve and Ken props on like flowers. I'm like, damn, bro, if it wasn't for y'all, man, I probably wouldn't even be playing game or fighting games or MK or any of that shit. And then my Uncle Moses, he actually introduced me to games. That's like, it has to be like the craziest one, like, and then so they all play. They know, like, my uncle Moses. Will, if I ever show him this, he'll probably be like, damn, like I didn't even realize. Like he probably knows though. Like, come on, I was a little ass kid, bro. I never seen a damn controller in my life. They used to give me like unplugged controllers, all that shit. Not even. It was just Moses. Like it was never Steve. I don't remember Ken or Steve doing that to me. I just remember Moses. He bro would because he used to have Def Jam Fight for New York and Def Jam Vendetta,
Damn,
bro.
that game was, oh my God, that game
Oh, I
brings back
love those
memories,
games, bro.
man. That game
So
was
my Moses,
amazing,
bro,
bro.
he used to play Sean Paul. He used to be nasty with Sean Paul. Like Sean Paul was broken. I think he might have been banned in tournaments. Like I don't know,
And that game was crazy.
but
Yet
yeah,
another part of your fighting game journey as well. Just
bro.
being introduced to such good fighting games.
Def Jam Fight for New York, bro. Moses had that, bro. We
Man.
always play. He used to play Sean Paul, like, and I used to get smacked, like. But yeah, he used to. Me and Moses used to always like. We're so cool now, and we're always still cool then, but we were still kids. So I used to get on his nerves, like, I used to get on his nerves, like he used to kick me out, like I'm still like a little kid, So I'm still like when you're a kid, you like to. I was a troll too when I was a kid, and he was a troll too, like he was a troll, and he used to make me like cry, bro. And but I was a troll, and like he used to like, but like I was a kid. It was so easy to like troll as a kid and like get away with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like you're a little
Totally
kid.
different when you grow up.
When you grow up, you start getting held accountable. Like.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, shout outs to them though, because
Yeah, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful how their purpose in life has a direct impact on your purpose in life.
bro,
So
yes,
they aided your purpose in life. That's what's beautiful about it, you know.
bro, Moses and Steve introduced me to WWE, bro. Like I was the
Which one?
biggest
SmackDown, Raw,
not just the
2007?
games, like watching it, It started
Oh,
with
yeah, yeah.
watching it, and then playing the game was like secondary to it. But I used to love the games. I used to have all that shit. And then me and Moses used to really play WWE though. Like we used to really play that shit. He used to have posters. I used to have posters. Like he used to have action figures. I used to have action figures. Like I was trying to get a better action figure collection than him. We were still kind of close to age, So like Steve and Ken were older,
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, and then so they introduced me, and then the challenges in game, like I'm always trying to get better, right? So like I'm getting smoked, I'm getting better, There's always somebody I'm chasing. So one of the challenges is just one of my biggest challenges in my competitive early history was figuring out how to get to that next layer when you don't got access to that next layer, you know?
Ooh, okay. Describe that a little bit. What do you mean?
Like you can't just be like some guy who wants to get better and ask Sonic Fox how to get better. Like you're not gonna get an answer. You gotta figure that shit out on your own. Like I'm like, how can I get
Yes.
to Sonic's level without playing Sonic? Like without playing these people. It's like you're trying to figure out how to get to their level without actually getting any kind of knowledge or like uh tips from them
Like direct
directly.
help, like mentorship.
Exactly, like mentorship from them. So I'm over here looking up YouTube videos, like combo guides, like, and it started. So it used to be like me looking up combo guides, right? And I used to see the actual tournaments of these players playing, and I'm like, they're not really doing those combos, like, like they're not really doing these combo video combos. Why? It's like these hits that they're getting in the videos are unrealistic hits, like. And then you watch them play, and I'm starting to realize, like, okay, I'm literally gonna stop watching combo guides, and I'm just gonna start watching tournaments. Like clearly what they're doing is like looking insane. Like knowing these little cool combos is cool, but I want to learn how to play like those guys because those are the guys that I can't beat.
Mm-hmm.
And if you play like those, you're guaranteed to beat the bots.
Right.
Combos ain't gonna beat bots, like they will, but being like being like crisp on every aspect of fighting games. Like I think I remember I was this is crazy. I remember 20 like 12 or 13, some dude like first mentioned Frame Data to me, and I was like, I'm smoking you and I don't even know it. So why do I even need to know it if you know it and you can't beat me still? That was my mindset towards Frame Data when I was first introduced to it. This guy introduced me to it. He was like, bro, that's like -10. Like you can die for that. I'm like, bro, bro, you ain't punished me for that shit yet. No, you might be lying to me. bro. Because dude,
Uh,
Frame Data wasn't in the game like until 2013 with Injustice One. That was the first NRS game. Shit, that might have been the first fighting game. I really don't know. I've never seen a MK Injustice One was the first time I seen a fighting game have frame data in the move list. Like you press start, go to move list, and then you hit like,
yeah.
and you see like startup is 6. Like, what the fuck are they saying? Like, I was, bro. I'm like, frame like that shit says +2 on block advantage. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, does that do I gotta care about this?
Yeah. No, it's very frame data is very daunting at first. 100%.
Bro, but if you know frame data, I swear frame data might be the biggest. That's how you kill scrubs, you know.
Yes.
Frame data is
Yes.
how you kill scrubs. That's why Tekken is so hard to get into because there's so many moves and they got so much frame data and they got so many
Billions.
and they got so much counterplay to them. Like this move that you're fighting might be cheap as fuck, but there's actually one out of the 7 options you've tried that actually beats that option.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you can't sidestep left, you can't duck, you can't block high, but you can sidestep right. Like what? Like how was I? Bro, you just sidestep left. You're like, okay, sidesteps don't work. No, you can actually sidestep right some things only and sidestep left some things only. I'm like, bro, that Tekken is probably how I first looked at how you know how most people look at combos and they're like, yeah, I'm not playing this shit. That's how I look at Tekken sometimes. I'm like, bro, like,
Yeah, it's too much.
and
It's too much.
you literally can lose to dudes that aren't even good, but they're at least better than you. Like if they're as long as they're better than you, that's all that matters, which is good actually. You know, that's actually like that's what makes a good fighting game is like that's why a lot of people don't like Tekken 8 though, because a lot of people that they think they're better than are losing right now. And like they're like and
Yeah, everybody's seen the timelines lately
have been shifting.
flooded with towards Tekken 8. So
Yeah, I've never seen a Tekken community like so unhappy with their game, like ever.
what made you get to that next level though? So you don't have access
Bro,
to
friends.
Sonic. You don't have
Friends.
you
Friends,
ranked
bro.
match and friends.
Friends, bro. It's it. I didn't even play ranked. Like MK11 was the first fighting game where I actually played ranked.
Really? So MKX, you just played with
I
the
literally
homies.
just played with friends
Injustice
from
played with the homies.
MK9. I'd never touched a ranked match, like
Wow.
because the rank system in those games
So how did you
weren't
find
relevant.
that Cyrax player? Yeah, but how did you find
Rooms,
that Cyrax? Oh, like lobbies.
lobbies, bro. So rooms. So yeah, like rooms, bro. Were like what I used to be in, and thankfully that's where a lot of people used to be in though. Like because in rooms you get to see who's in the room. You get to look at records. You get to look at records and before
Wow.
you actually get the match. Like I used to just look at hella people's records. So in the rooms, right, they would say if these people were in a match or not. If you're if you had like a green, this is MK9. If you had a green,
I was about to say, why does this sound like way better than the MK1
because
online
there's no
already?
rooms,
Like,
there's no rooms in the game. I don't know why.
what is going on? But keep going.
Yeah,
Keep
I
going.
don't know why they don't got
We're gonna
rooms.
definitely get on MK1.
Yeah, but MK9 in the rooms you would join. I remember it used to be like Outworld, Earthrealm, like these are the names of the rooms, like, and then you would I would join whatever room had the most people. And then I would look through records and see if I used to go in there and just type in. There's a text chat, like you could type in it. I used to type that bitch. Anybody got mics and trying to 1v1? I said, anybody got a mic and trying to 1v1? And then I used to just play people because I used to think I was so good that I used to just want to hear the reaction, like whenever I did something cool, right? Because I just knew.
Oh yeah, that's the ego right there. That's
Yeah.
when the ego starts developing.
I used to do something cool and I used to be like, and I'll be killing them. And I used to just listen to them get mad. I used to just thrive in that shit. So like, and then, yeah, and I used to just love when people were salty, like, because you could be salty all you want in a fighting game. You can try harder. If you're bad, you were bad, like you can't shift the tides, bro. Like you don't even know frame data, you're dead. Like what do you're gonna just mash here every time, like
Yeah.
So yeah, I used to just be in rooms, and then that's how I found. I used to just um eventually like that's how you develop friendships, and you just I never played a ranked match till MK11, bro. And the only reason, bro, nobody did though. Like nobody played there was no real rank system to go by in those games. Like no, you just literally played for no reason. Like all you had was your record. That's all you had. All you had, and in MK11 you actually had like a elder god, Debbie god. That was the first game in NRS where you actually had a rank.
Not even in Injustice 1,
Nope.
2, MKX.
You're literally just playing ranked for your record. Like, oh, I just want my record to look cool. I didn't care about my damn record. I care about what I do in tournaments.
Right.
But now,
That's where a lot of people fall in that rabbit hole. As simple as it sounds, where rank match, when we say rank match doesn't matter,
it still
means
doesn't
that
matter. Yeah, it
yeah,
literally still
it
doesn't.
still
It
doesn't
just meant
matter.
even less back then. But the reason why it only matters nowadays is for content. That's it.
Not just for content. I feel like it does matter now because not as much as obviously tournament, but your rank, at least in Street Fighter 6, relatively does a decent job of showing your consistency in the game.
Hmm.
Like those that are in 1500
No, yeah,
belong
that's
there.
what I'm
Those
saying.
that
That's
are
what
in
I'm
like
saying.
19,
You talking
2000,
about like MR?
they belong there. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
no, I get
MR.
that. I get that. Now it's good, but I'm talking about back in like fucking Street
Yeah,
Fighter
for
5.
sure.
Like
No, yeah,
literally, you
it
could be
didn't matter.
ass
Didn't
and
matter.
have the highest rank, but you just played a lot. You know
Exactly,
that
exactly.
if anything,
Yeah.
those ranks just showed you played too much. Like if those same guys go to a tournament and get washed, it's like
Yeah, for sure.
so it's like
For
damn.
sure. Or you have the obsession of, man, I really want to be a diamond rank, or man, I really want to be a platinum rank. It's like
But
you
even
don't
that alone
understand.
is
Like,
still cooler
yeah,
than what MK had. MK didn't even have that. We didn't even have a ranks
yeah,
until
that's wild.
MK 11, bro, and it didn't even. I don't even think we had ranks in MK11 at the beginning. Like it came halfway through or something like that. I don't even think we had a rank system from the jump. Like it it got introduced later. Like and we got all excited about it. Like oh my god, I'm about to see. I think I might have been I think, bro, I might have been the first Elder God player, bro. Or I wasn't the first Elder God, but I was like, I remember I took a picture of I'm a tournament player at this point. Like I'm established. I already won Evo, and I'm over here posting like
Yeah, let's rewind a little bit. Let's
I
rewind
see
a
what you
little
did there.
bit.
But okay, go ahead.
Yeah, it wasn't intended, but that sounded hot, so we'll keep that. But uh the rooms, I'm thinking like you're what, 13 years old here, 13, 14 years old?
Yeah.
Okay, and you're getting better in the rooms, you're playing
12,
these
12.
people.
I'm like 11 and 12. I'm
12.
11, 12 back in MK9.
So obviously you're somewhat decent, but what is the next level in your definition at that time period? Like what was the like winning tournaments or getting into
No, I got you.
tournaments?
No, we're going too fast now. Look, I know we want to speed this interview up, but we
No, it's not even
that
about that. I'm
no, I
just
know,
trying
I know,
to
I know, I
also
know. I'm just
bring it
joking. I'm
back
joking.
to
I'm joking. But
the
let me
yeah,
give you
yeah.
so my history in fighting games goes casual to clans to trash team, but like can send me something sometimes. To all right, now I got an elite sponsor, or a good sponsor. Nowadays, it doesn't even have to be elite. If you just got a good team, bro, you're pretty much you're good in fighting games. Like now I don't mean good in skill, but you can actually that means you can go to tournaments and you like don't have to pay for shit.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you're good. Like you're right. But that was like my goals. Like I was like, okay, how do I like MK9? I was like a casual, but I was like a competitive casual. Like I want to be better than my friends. Like I still want to. And then I figure out that there's clans, and I'm like, whoa! All the people in clans are like, for some reason, they're all consistently better than most of the people I play. Like most of these dudes, like if you're even in a clan, like it was like even the worst dude in a clan was like better than like most people. I was like, okay, I got to get a clan. Like that means if I get in a clan, like for some reason, it was like a part of just feeling like you wanted to represent something too. Like you wanted to represent something. It felt like you wanted to be the best on
Felt
this
like you
team.
belonged. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And then and it was about beating other teams. Like clan battles was my first taste of competition in fighting games.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell
That
yeah.
was the first time I ever actually like that was like my tournaments. Like it felt like clan battles are about Evo. Like I'm trying to win. I'm trying to be the star player. I'm trying to not lose. I'm trying to look like and like I want the other team to know, damn, that dude on that team was crazy, bro. Like we can't beat that team if that dude's on that team. And then it went from clan battles to I'm starting to see tournaments, and I'm like, damn, a lot of the people that were in tournaments aren't in these clans anymore. Like they used to be back in the day. They're leaving these clans, they're chasing sponsors. It's like clans is a thing of the past, bro. And this was about 2013, 14. And these teams that they're on, they weren't even get shit from them, bro. They're just teams are just better than a team just sounds better than a clan. Like it was just that simple. Even if some teams were literally giving you what a clan was, which was damn near nothing. you know? Like, oh, you get a t-shirt with our name on it. Like you might get your reg plate paid or some shit, like
And the symbol is some random creature like a freaking scorpion with a shield.
yeah.
It's on a shield.
You don't really get anything, but you back then, like if you never received anything for playing games, and this is like your first opportunity to like be like, damn, like I can get something for playing a game. Yeah, like, you're like, "I made it," and you realize that there's another layer, and you're like, "Okay, damn." Around 2015, 16, though, when I was seeing that money Sonic was winning back in those ESLs and those finals, he's 60K, 60K, 75, I'm like, "Bro, there's some bags in this." Sonic was the first player where first saw bags, like, being collected, I've always saw, like, all the competitions, like, I saw him taking tournaments here and there, Street Fighter tournament, but, Sonic winning those bags was the first time where I was like, "Bro, I need to get a piece of that bag." Like, I know there's more bags. Like, I know I don't might not get the first place bag, but can I get something? Like, I'm
Something, yeah, for
broke.
your
Like, I'm
hard
talking my
efforts, yeah.
wallet has $0 in it. Like, I'm talking like seventh place is more than $0, you know?
Yeah.
It's like when you're a grown man, you look at things different. But when you're a kid, that's why fighting games, like, when you become a grown man, that's why it depends on the fighting game, obviously. Like, your Street Fighter, you're actually the time you invest into Street Fighter 6 right now is actually an investment. Like, it's a real investment. Like, it's like, I can actually change my life off this shit if I just do good once. If I just do good at that one event, that's all I need. Like,
Yeah.
playing in most fighting games, you're literally better off just go get a job, bro. Like, if you actually, like, wanna have a crib and all that, like, go get a job, bro. But Street Fighter, they got, like, and Tekken 2 are starting to be like that too. I noticed Tekken and Street Fighter, they're starting to get bags that are life changing. MK used to be up there, but they're just dipping down for some reason. But
When when you started getting better, what kind of discipline, like, was discipline something that you struggled with when it came to like labbing things? Because you said like your experience with frame data, et cetera, et cetera. Like, was that another hurdle for you as well because you didn't have the discipline, or did you always have discipline to be a lab monster?
I was always good at learning. Like, I was always good at, like, learning and implementing quickly. Like, I felt like, you know, and that was back when I was younger though. Like, when you're an adult, like, it starts to get harder to, like, learn quick too, because your brain starts to have more shit on its mind. Like,
Yeah, of
when
course.
you're a kid,
Way too many responsibilities.
exactly. Like, and then on top of that, like, yeah, discipline was never that though. Like, I was always able to, like, I would literally just, like, learn a combo and I would not leave until I could hit that combo consistently, you know?
What about like fear? Like going, like you won Evo. Where did fear play a part in that experience?
I wasn't scared though. When I went Evo, I felt like I it's kind of crazy. Like, I felt like when I went Evo, um, I felt like I knew I could. Like, I just like but like no like I think everybody knew I could who it's crazy because I never did anything prior to winning Evo that was like that showed signs of winning Evo. Like,
Yeah,
you know how
yeah.
people were like, damn, he's having a crazy year. He might be most likely to win Evo.
Hmm.
Like, like
Yep. You win a
I,
CEO, you win some of the other major tournaments,
yeah,
and
exactly. Like, you're seeing I never won shit until I won, like, my first time I ever won a major was Evo. Like, that was the first time I ever won, you know?
wow.
And but the first tournament I actually won, like, I've won online tournaments though. And the thing is, people kind of thought, what's crazy? Evo was my second the Evo I won was the second time I ever made top 8 in my life. Like, I never even made a top 8.
Wow.
I got like I was a ninth place warrior, bro. So we're talking about struggles. I was a ninth place warrior. Like, Evo, I think so. So Evo, I was from, bro. Like, I'm from Las Vegas. I'm surprised we didn't even start the interview out where I'm from. So, like, I'm from Las Vegas, right? And I'm born and raised Las Vegas, and Evo was in Las Vegas. So Evo was actually my first tournament that I ever went to. And Evo 2016 was the first time I ever went to a tournament offline. And I went to that tournament because my clan leader, Chaotic Spooky, I was in Chaotic. I literally went to Evo Chaotic Rewind. That was my name. And Spooky paid for my registration. He was like, "Bro, all you got to do is go. Like, you literally just got to find a way to get there.
Yeah.
You just show them this QR code or this email or whatever. Like, that was a, and then they should just give you a badge or something. Like, I didn't know the process. I didn't know how tournaments work. So I go. My brother takes me to Evo. And I'm like 15 when I go to my first tournament. I'm 15. I won Evo at 17. Think about that.
Yeah.
My first time I ever went to a tournament was 15.
The second time you end up winning Evo. So you were
Third time, third time,
confident
third time. So I went to
Great
Evo
time.
2016, and then I got like 25th or something. And I'm thinking like, damn, 25th is pretty. I'm thinking 25th is crazy because like I'm looking at the competition here. I'm like, bro, I'm looking at my name above people's who are sweaty. Like I was watching, like I used to watch these dudes, and my name is like above theirs. Like I have a higher placing, you know?
That was MKX Evo.
MKX
MKX.
was Evo 2016.
Sonic won
Sonic
that
won that
one
one. Tekken
against
Master got second.
Foxy. Oh, Tekken got
Yeah.
second. Tekken
So
Master
yeah, I
got
didn't go to
second.
Evo 2015. That was Foxy Sonic. But so the year Tekken Master broke out. That's the same year I went to my first tournament. And Tekken Master story has a lot of honestly a lot of inspiration to me wanting to be good because that showed me that a guy can literally just come out of butt fuck nowhere and just be one of the best players ever. We don't even know, you know,
Yeah, for sure.
like what
Yeah.
this dude is like making Sonic take off the hat. Like Sonic's been dominating for years. You're talking about this dude that's never even came to America can make this dude sweat like this?
Yeah. And it ain't just someone random. It's Sonic.
Yeah, it's Sonic, bro.
At that point, Sonic was
Sonic had to like
dominating.
Sonic had to run to the brokest character in the game to beat Tekken Master, bro. If Sonic didn't run to Alien, Tekken Master would be an Evo champ right now, bro.
Wow.
Like Tekken Master, just for some reason, he just stuck by his character. He played Blood God Kotal versus Acidic Alien in Grand Finals, bro. Blood God
How bad
Kotal
was
didn't
that
even have a
matchup?
fucking wake up. Like, imagine like you have no defensive options. You know how Kimberly players complain, "Oh, I need a DP." Like,
Yeah.
but they got perfect parry. You know, at least you got an option. Like, Blood God Kotal got knocked down. You had no options, bro. You literally just accept that you're gonna just wake up into mix. You know,
How did he make it so far in the tournament having no wake up option?
bro. Tekken Master was just better than players. Like, no, but he wasn't playing that variation the whole tournament. He just went that variation versus Sonic because it just so happened to suit the matchup that he was playing at that time better. But he just played the whole tournament with Devore and War God Kotal. But yeah, Tekken Master just showed me that, oh, like this dude that like nobody expects to do good just comes out of nowhere, just gets, bro, he lost this. He resets the bracket on Sonic free and then loses to Sonic 3-2 last round, last hit. And I'm like, damn, that got to be me, bro.
Yeah. So when did that was right before you won Evo, right? That was before you
That was
won
2
your
years.
Evo and Ninja.
So Sonic won
before.
2016, Dragon won 2017 for Injustice 2,
Uh-huh.
and then I won 2018.
Mm.
So yeah, bro, so I went to Evo 2016, and like the next time I went to a tournament was Evo 2017, bro. I'm telling you, I could not travel. I didn't have money. I didn't have my parents. Oh, that's another struggle. I couldn't even travel, bro. My dad didn't let me travel. I felt like I was good enough to do. I felt like I would have did better than I did at Evo if I was able to go to more shit. And I felt like I just
Well, you say that, but you don't. I mean, you don't really know, bro. Like the
don't
way
know.
your situation shaped out, like everything happened
For a
the
reason,
way
yeah.
that it happened for the W. So that I've come to believe that everything that has happened for the W needed to happen in the exact butterfly effect that it happened in order for you to get the W. So
This is true.
I mean,
This is true. But yeah,
that's
I went to but that I felt like my name started catching just a little bit of like steam, of just a little tiny, not even pretty much nothing. Like it's the equivalent of like some dude upsetting a player that's known. Like I actually upset a player. Like that's why my name started catching some kind of like little notice. Like mine because that was the first time that anybody's ever seen my name in a top 32. Like top 32.
at that Evo that you got 25th in.
Yeah, back then, you know, Evo was looked at like it still kind of looked at that. It still very much looked like that, but back then, bro, Evo was looked at as like the Super Bowl. Like you,
Yeah,
like
it
if you
is.
get
I
top
mean, it
30, if
is.
you get top 32 at Evo, you can virtually put that in your bio. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
if you don't got no
Yeah.
results, top 32, especially back
Top
then,
32 at Evo.
that was back when the competition only cared about competition. There was no money. Like there was money for MKX, but I feel like it was more about pride, you know. So when players are playing behind pride, I feel like it's like it trumps. That's what brings out the most, like the best competition.
Dog and people.
Yeah, the dog, bro. Like people were like dedicating like their lives to being like good at something that didn't even.
Oh yeah, you had the Yomi house where there was like 10,
Dude,
15 people living in
playing
there.
nothing
like,
but
what do you
games.
mean? There
Like
was a whole. It was just gaming.
it was just video games, bro. That's it.
that was the era of just gaming,
It
just
was just
because
it
the
was about it was
pride
about
and
coast, who's the best country, who's the best
we
coast,
we
like
meet these people from online as well, and then we play them for money. We play like like all the homies that I have now. We didn't start off as homies. We started off as rivals. Like I don't
yeah,
I don't like you, Julio. Like you're from NorCal, bro. I'm about to body your shit.
yeah.
And that was a huge rivalry between me and Julio, and rivalries between me and Strider and everybody, just everybody in the country. But then obviously you compete against each other for a long time, and then you develop friendships. But yeah, bro, it was a different era. Like ask me and Mena and Kaba and Xiaohai, we didn't talk about the money once. Like obviously it's mentioned, but we didn't talk about the potential money that we could win from Street Fighter League. We
Bro, I feel
there was
like
no
people
conversation
it's
about
funny.
it.
Everybody talk it's the
It was
it's
all about winning.
for me, I think it's the money. The money gets us there. But when you're actually in that seat playing that person, it ain't about the money. Like the the biggest bag I ever won was Injustice 2 Pro Series. This is like in my opinion, my rookie season. Like, cause I feel like your rookie season doesn't happen until you can actually fucking go to things like going to
Yes.
one tournament is not enough. Like, so my rookie season was 2018. That was the first time I actually had a sponsor, and I actually my sponsor was like, "All right, which we're gonna send you to everything that's on the circuit." Like that's in the country, of course, because there were tournaments not on the circuit, but I couldn't go because that shit was too expensive for them. But
Yeah, of course.
they sent me to Combat Breaker, which was on the circuit, CEO, which was on the circuit, Evo, which was on the circuit, SCR, and that's it. And then I qualified off those events alone, and then so that just showed people that if I can get to these events, I will qualify for that World Finals. You know, back then it was almost like if you weren't going to if you're going to one event, you're not qualifying, bro. Like how you gonna qualify? All these dudes are going to everything.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Mm-hmm.
going to everything, and
Yeah.
and it just sucks because a lot of the orgs nowadays, not orgs, but the developers nowadays, they're trying to make it so people who can't travel can qualify easier, but that's not good either because you're
It's not, but
it makes it
it's a
more
double-edged
diverse.
sword.
It,
Yeah, it makes it more diverse, but there's
but
also
look at
like
like
another
Japan, who
double-edged
has like
sword for
30
it too.
million killers that can't qual because only two could qual from the region. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just like is the strongest players really at Capcom Cup? Like I don't know. You'll see. Punk was he at Capcom Cup? Like that dude got third at Evo and made top 8 without dropping a game, and everybody was at Evo. You know,
Yeah.
and then he can't even qualify for Capcom Cup out of his country.
It's hard.
You feel
It's really hard
that
to
just
qualify
so
now. Yeah, it's very, very
these
hard.
formats, Street Fighter's format's not that far from NRS's format. I'm on like the bubble for qualification, like I'm on the bubble right now because my region's just harder than some other regions. It is what it is. Like it's like, and
It is what it
it is
is.
what it is. It's and for me being a competitor, I'm not gonna let the OS of that my region being harder try to keep me from qualifying. I'm still trying to qualify. And I got Sonic Fox in my city. He's in my region. Like he's in my city, so I have to qual above the goat. Like, and then sometimes they got like a plumber and they in the top 8. Like, I'm not gonna shit on plumbers because I'm a blue collar worker myself. But
No, I feel you. I feel you. So you mentioned Sonic as being the GOAT of NRS. Sonic's in your city. And obviously Sonic is the GOAT of NRS.
very true, undeniable.
It led me into having this question for you. Because currently, this is how I feel. If I had to name top 3 USA NRS players, it's Sonic, you, and Ninja. What do you think separates you three from the rest of the country? What do you think the NRS players need to work on as a mass in order to develop their skills? And what areas are they lacking in or should focus on the most to improve in MK1? Kind of a three-parter right there, but let's start off with the first one. What do you think separates you three from the rest of the country in Mortal Kombat?
Okay. After I answer this, I do want to touch on the struggles some more because there were some crazy struggles, and I'll break it into
Oh yeah.
simpler, not like a long dialogue of each. Yeah,
Okay. No, for
but
sure. You
as
more than
far
welcome
as
to that.
for first off, appreciate you thinking up like one of the best 3 out of America. Like America's the
Yeah,
best
it's
region,
facts.
so it's like
It's just facts. It's
yeah,
just
because
facts.
America's like what people think Japan is in Street Fighter. Like people think America's like that in MK. We're like the best region because we have a high concentration of top players, and like there's people that are like people that will struggle to make a top 8 in America, but can go to like other regions and probably win that bitch. Like and as far as that, as far as what people could do better, I think people just need to play more. Like it's people just need to like not be so. It just sucks because that's what makes that's the difference in eras right there. It's a lot of ducking going on. A
Oh
lot of people
man,
only want to play their homies.
everyone's ducking now.
And back when people were hungry, like for me, like if I if I think there's a beneficial me personally, if I find like there's a beneficial transaction going on between us playing, like I'm getting better, you're getting better, that's cool with me. Like I don't gotta duck. Some people feel like, but this isn't to be Hollywood, bro. This isn't to be Hollywood. I'll play anybody. But if you're the only one benefiting from us playing, I like, I may give you some games to give you some insight on how to get better, but I gotta put my time into sharpening my skills so that I can go beat Ninja Kill and Sonic, bro. Like you're not gonna be better, but like how am I supposed? You know, you can get a little piece of data from like even lower level players. Like you got to know how to beat all play styles. You might fight a dude who isn't known and he plays like shit, but for some reason you getting hit by everything. You're like, man, and then you just realize like, damn, I just suck versus his archetype of player. So you can learn from everybody, but I don't like playing people who are not willing to, learn, you know?
Do you feel like then the mass in the community need to be more willing to play games with more people, or
Everything,
like what?
everything. People got to be more willing to learn. People got to stop ducking. People got to stop being so close knit. Like back in the day, it was. I can't really speak for like MK9 era because I was still casual. But like back then, you were really like it was coast battles. You would probably not find DJT grinding with Sonic Fox because they're from West Coast and he's from East, right? But all of Yomi, they were grinding within each other's groups, like CR. I guess the thing that's kind of crazy is how Sonic was beating all of CR without playing them like casually. I don't know. That's crazy. I think Sonic's the GOAT too because that dude, you can duck him all you want. That dude might still beat you. Like you might
Yeah, no, Sonic's
like
insane.
you're better off giving that full games than ducking.
He's legitimately the new Justin Wong.
Like like it's
That's who
and a
Sonic
lot of
is.
people when I'm playing Sonic in casuals, they're like, "Stop playing." I'm like, because I actually give Sonic a crazy run for his money every time I play him. Like me
Yeah,
winning
yeah, you do.
Evo he was in my path. Like
Or you beat him on your path to Evo.
at Celtic Throwdown, the
Oh,
only other major I've
that's
won, double
yeah,
eliminated Sonic. So I know what it feels like to beat
yeah,
Sonic.
yeah. Though that's what makes your Evo even more amazing is that you got through Sonic in the
Yeah, nobody
process.
wants to see like a bracketology win. Like pe- people want to see like a dude win, but he fought all the people that you thought could win too.
Fought the demon.
Yeah, like
He fought the
it's like
demon
he
himself.
didn't even get to play that dude. So can we really say you know,
Yes, no, for sure, for
like
sure,
that's
for
why
sure, for
IDOM's
sure.
second place Evo run is the craziest run I've ever seen in my life. IDOM's second place to Kawano, that dude went like 19-2. That was his record. Like he beat bro. Just Is that not like a crazy statistic? Like I saw that fool,
No, that's crazy. It's
and
wild.
he
It's
lost to
absolutely
Riot
wild.
Heart. Like that's who put him in losers. Like that's a goat
Oh
too. Like let's not
shit!
get fucked
It
up. That's a
is, bro.
goat,
It
bro.
is.
Like
You just
fucking
don't. You
Guinness World
just don't
Records.
like.
But come on, we're not thinking Ryan Hart's gonna beat IDOM that year. Like
No, not at that year. No way.
that was IDOM's like we were witnessing IDOM have his in his prime. Like we're like this dude doesn't lose to anybody. Like we're watching IDOM, just some dude, quiet dude, just pull up and just smoke everybody. Like and then he goes 19-2. See him fight Daigo, smoke him. Keto, smoke him. Like anybody, it doesn't matter. Like and then that's what I'm saying. Like I forgot where I was. I ain't gonna lie.
What we were talking about. Well, I was asking you what what do you think are the areas that the NRS players lack in compared to you, Sonic and Ninja? Because I feel like when I watch them play, everybody else, like there's just
dude, I actually it's one of those
Just
things that
that
are so
there's
hard to
like
explain, honestly. You ever just
I don't know how to explain it,
you
but
ever
it
no,
just
no, no,
feels like you three are on a
but
different tier, like a way different tier.
do you ever feel like some things are just like there's just certain people who just like
Got it,
yeah, not got it too is one of them.
but don't got it.
Yeah, there's just certain people who got it, and there's just it, it's like I feel like me and Sonic and like Ninja and like even like Combat, like I know players who got it. Like when
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember
I'm just listing you three. There's amazing NRS players that
I
I
got
know,
you.
Michelangelo, Slayer. I know so many NRS people. It's all love, but obviously you got to give the credit where it's due between you three. I'm just trying to understand, like when I watch you guys play, the adaptation and the decision making, it's just pristine, and I want you to be able to explain to your audience, the people that watch you, like how is it that they can get to your level? Like what is it mentally?
You
When you say that you
I
got
feel
that
like the
dog in you, or
definitive
you got it
answer
mentally or not?
yeah, the definitive answer is, bro, you gotta play people who are better than you always.
Okay.
You gotta surround yourself around people that they're hard to fucking fight. Like you just like I remember, dude, I ain't gonna lie. I give him his flowers too. I credit Samij, bro. Samij, if it wasn't for Samij, there's no rewind, bro.
Wow.
There's no, there's two people. Of course, there's a long list of people who like I could
Yes,
credit to
yes,
like me
yes,
being
yes.
where I am. But you can't go to Hall of Fame speech and tell credit like fucking every little single like you
Well,
can. I
you,
mean,
you
some people
give
do.
credit, you give
Some people
credit
do.
to the
Some people
ones
do.
that really had that impact.
But the one guy is Desda. That dude taught me frame data. Like he was playing Bone Shaper shit on MKX, and he kept doing this move that was so plus, and I kept mashing. And I couldn't understand. He taught me frame data. He told me why I kept getting hit. You know.
Yeah.
And then Samij, that dude was one of the hardest. Samij is I could literally sit here and say today, Prime Samij was the hardest player I've ever had to try to beat.
Wow. Let's give someone his
Samij,
flowers for sure.
that dude used to piss me off. Like I used to degrade this man. Like I could not understand his decision making, and like some of his decision making didn't make sense. Like some decisions he made, like that he just saw that it kept working and he just kept doing it. He showed me like shit. Someone keep working, even if it looks ass, nigga, keep doing it.
Hmm.
You know, like if you can't anti-air, I'm gonna keep jumping. It doesn't matter if you think and jumping is scrubby. I'm gonna keep jumping. Like he showed me, like, damn, I just got to get better, bro. I can't beat this dude unless I start anti-air. Like like if I don't and you jump at him, anti-airs you every time. I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, so you can't jump at him. He jumps at me all day. Like, how do I stop this? Like, how do I beat this dude? It's like, okay, and then he has immaculate ground footsies in neutral. I'm like, all right, so I can't jump at him, can't beat him. Like, okay, my neutral was there with him, but like every time he gets a hit, he runs with it. Like every time, and then he jumps on me. I'm like, bro. So that dude used to beat me so much. I could literally sit here and say, Samij is beating me more than any player in casuals.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, like I think the moment I felt like I transcended was because Samij, dude, that dude, I used to complain so much. Like I couldn't stand the way he played. Like, but I kept playing him because I was just so addicted to try to beat this dude. Like Samij was like the only dude I could not conquer in casuals. Like it's one thing to beat a dude in tournament, obviously that's where it counts. But this is the one dude in casuals where I'm like, bro, you just clearly. And when I play him in tournament, I lose too. So it's like, it's whatever. And Samij was like the only dude back in 2017 who could beat Sonic, bro, literally. And and 2016, Samij was bro, that dude was insane. And I used to complain so much. Like I used to say he was carried by his characters, like all that, like. And he used to somehow deal with me enough to keep playing with me. And I got so good from him, bro. Like he made me so good, like without even trying to. Like he was just trying to play me because, like, for some reason, I don't know why he was playing me, honestly. And then my whole goal of playing him was so sadistic. It was just to beat him. I only
I don't
played
even think.
Samij to beat him.
Yeah, I don't think it's like sadistic, but more so of
A
just
challenge, bro.
yeah, that pride inside of you. There's good levels of pride and bad levels of pride. The pride inside
Yeah,
of you that feeds your competitive hunger to
that was it.
not
Yeah,
be
it was positive.
inferior.
It was
Yeah, it was
positive. It was
positive.
positive,
It's so you don't feel inferior. You don't feel like you just defeated as a man. You want to be able to conquer a
bro.
challenge.
Just getting shit on. bro, dude,
over
Samij
and
used to
over and over. Bro, I hated
Samij,
Snake Eyes. He was doing that to me for a whole year at Wednesday Night Fight, second place for a whole year. I couldn't
bro.
beat him. It was just eating at my essence. Couldn't even, like, how do you
Yo,
call yourself a man? The
the
same dude.
wordplay.
Yeah, bro. It's just destroying you. So, especially at that point when you're already loving the game and you have some, not some, but you have a lot of experience at this point and you're considered a really good player. Somebody that just shits on you over and over and over again is
And shit's on you in
debilitating.
silence too, bro.
Yeah,
Samij
yeah.
used to never shit talk me, bro. Like
Wow, bro.
I-
And you're a
Samij,
clown too, so like you want to be able to like,
Samij used to never shit talk me, bro. Like he used
yeah.
to like Samij used to never shit talk me, bro.
No,
Like, I'm
shout
pretty
outs
sure
to
Samij
Samij,
didn't even
man.
like me at one point, bro. Like
Hey, but
that dude.
have you told him
Yeah,
this too?
bro. I be telling him this. I
That's
don't tell him. I
wild,
don't
bro.
tell him it to this extent, but
No,
I
no, for
tell him.
sure.
I tell him like, bro, like I literally tell people when I'm streaming sometimes, like, bro, credit to Samij, bro, because it wasn't for him, bro. Because those ass whoopings are engraved in me,
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
that shit. Like Samij knows it too. Like Samij nowadays, he talks a lot more smack because Samij is a lot more of a different person now than he was back then. Samij is a youngster too, bro. So yo, Samij is only like he's only like a year or
He was
older than me.
also really good in Street Fighter
He's a
6
prodigy.
when
Samij
Street
was a
Fighter
prodigy.
6 was out. He was playing, I want to say Jury when the game first released, and he was putting some work
He's the
in
second
on
highest placing NRS player at
the
Evo.
wow.
2023. He's the second. It's the
For
first with Sonic.
Street Fighter?
Street Fighter.
Yeah, yeah.
He got like 33rd or something.
Yeah, Samij
He
was
was
on point.
Samij was playing. Samij, he literally would have won. I think I don't know if it was just some random tournament or if it was like one of those CPT East events. I remember there was one. I think it was just some online tournament. But Samij was giving Punk the business, bro. I was watching Punk get like he couldn't understand like why Samij was just playing like the way he was, and it was so interesting. I was like, damn, this man Samij, like I could see why he was getting tight though, but I was like, damn. I mean, Punk is Punk,
I
you know.
want to ask, what we've mentioned so far for the NRS community has been more so of the mechanical side of the game. Do you, because you said you look at some people and you're able to determine this guy got it, this guy don't got it. I personally feel like the got it is the mental. You can tell if somebody has the mental to be able to perform under pressure and when somebody doesn't have the mental for it. How do you think the community can increase their mental preparation and stamina for tournaments and just their hardening of their mind to be focused? Like, what type of mental preparation have you done? Sports psychology, anything like that, because we go through a lot of mental struggles being in this field. What has been something that you've done?
Man, I don't even know, man.
Because
I
like
never really had a
mean
preparation.
I don't mean to interrupt, but it's
Oh,
like
no,
it's
no.
the difference between somebody being able to hit the game-winning combo or not. It's the difference between somebody whiffing a button and someone who doesn't at the precise moment. So they don't understand. I always say they don't understand. Maybe you guys do understand. So I don't mean to come off like that, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like that is the most important
You're just talking
thing.
about anybody who's
Yeah.
trying to cross over to the
Yeah,
next
that
layer.
the
Yeah.
tournament, that next layer, that when you got it, it's because of the mental. It all boils down to the mental. That's the hardest part of being able to compete.
Yeah, some people got tournament demons that they can't conquer because they just can't get. They just so many ass whoopings. You just feel like you can't beat this dude. Like demons, you know.
And you never like, I mean, you said you were into sports, but you never studied on sports psychology or anything like that. You just kind of had that confidence about you.
Nah. So the thing is, I guess, like I have confidence. I just naturally do have confidence. Like I'm humble though, but underneath the humbleness, like I know I'm him. You know,
You
like low
have to.
key, like.
Yeah, you have to. You have
Like
to.
I know that I could give anybody a run for their money when like I'm really like locked in,
Mhm.
and it doesn't even require me having to put in 12 hours a day. I feel like I could put in there was times where I just got home from work and just like won a tournament. You know, it's like it's just that I don't know what it is, and I think it's also because I've been at that level. So like me not having as much time to play, like it, I'm still at that level. You know, I don't know what it is like. So I think honestly, bro, when it comes to mental and what people could do better to, conquer their demons or the nerves or whatever, it's just repetition. Sometimes it's just repetition. Like me, bro, I got like four ninth places or something in a row, and I was like, man, I'm just never gonna get top eight. Like, yeah, top eights were like where you wanted to be, right? And I was just so tired of getting ninth. You didn't get no props back then for ninth. I mean, you still really don't get props in the end still, but back then you don't get no props. Like you're just on you're just about to get props, and you're like, nope, I choked. So
Hmm.
and I would beat good players along the way to get ninth. Like I would take out dudes who could win the tournament and get ninth. And then I'm like, wow. So I just beat these players for no reason. I just flew all the way over here for no reason. Like I got no bread. Like I'm over here like this. My team probably think I'm a waste of buddy. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
so when it comes to it's just repetition, bro. Like as sad as it is and as painful as the process is, like you gotta put yourself if you got nerves, well, you gotta just put yourself in those positions where you get nervous often and just keep putting yourself in that position so you just ain't nervous no more. Like, you just got to beat away at it. And eventually, like, if you got the determination and you're one, like, some people, like, at the end of the day, some people can, like, go get smoked 100 times and win on the 101st time. You know,
Yeah.
that's all it takes. Like, some people, like, I think, like, some people, like, go, like, 15 years never top eight and then like they just finally get top eight and that's all they need. All you need is to see one shot go through and you
Yeah.
just start making them,
Yeah. Yeah.
like, the first time I got top 8 was at Combo Breaker 2018, and once I saw the Combo Breaker 2018 top 8, I got Evo 2018 top 8, and then when I saw Evo 2018 top 8, I won Evo, and then when I won Evo, I got top 8 SCR, and then I qualified for a fight, like, it just one after the other, like, it went from I'm a ninth place warrior to the next year, the very next year, alright, I just need top 8 one thing, bro, like, I just got one and it just kept coming, so
Yeah.
you just gotta see one shot going, bro. It's just repetition, honestly. Like, it didn't happen overnight for me. It sounds quick. 2015 to 17, going from a casual to a Evo champ, it sounds quick. I mean, it is quick, but, like, it didn't feel quick.
It's
Like,
quicker. It's quicker than most. I can tell you that. I can promise you
it's
that.
quicker
It's
than
quicker
most,
than
but it
most.
felt overdue for me. I don't know why. Is that ego? I don't know. It felt like I knew where my skill was, and I didn't feel like my results were lining up with where I felt like me and my peers thought I should be. Like, there was people thinking I should win Evo 2017.
Yeah.
And I got 33rd. Like, there's people thinking I should have won that year, bro. So to win the next year, it felt like I actually I proved everybody right that I can actually be with those guys, because for a
Including
while it was
yourself.
just a whole lot of hype. It
You
was a
proved
whole lot of
yourself
hype.
right.
There's a 2017, you could consider Rewind overhyped.
Wow. That's crazy because I mean you've always
That might have
been
been the year I
strong
knew
from.
you. Or no, I don't know.
No, I don't know.
I think MK11 was more when I met you, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2017, I was overhyped, bro. Like, I remember Pick the Hut literally posted on Twitter, Rewind's getting third, like, minimum at Evo. And everybody thought Pig's opinion back then was gospel. Like, they were just like, man, I'm going to watch this dude. I crumbled under the pressure, bro.
Yeah.
I got reversed 3-0 twice. Like,
So you're essentially. I mean, you're saying the repetition, and repetition is obviously patience. That is the key word for repetition as well. It's rooted in patience, being able to do the same thing over and over and over again, and keep striving and believing in yourself. I feel
and
like that
people
confidence
cannot
needs to
give
be
up,
there.
bro. People cannot give up, bro. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
you
You
can't
can't give
give
up,
up.
bro.
Yeah, you
Because
can't.
I
You
had
can't.
hella obstacles, bro. I
It's
literally couldn't. I couldn't literally listen though. I
yeah,
couldn't travel because I literally was broke. So I literally depended on somebody else to give me the money to go, whether it be a friend or a team or somebody who believed in me, because it wasn't coming from my parents. It wasn't coming from my parents, and it wasn't coming from me. And I was 15. Imagine trying to tell your dad, who's like, older generation. My dad was 62 when he died or something like that. Like he was an old dude. So when I started competing, he was in his 50s. So imagine trying to tell somebody in his 50s that I'm 15 and I'm trying to go to a tournament and a dude is willing to pay for me to go to the tournament and it's in Texas and I've never flown a plane before. Like he said no. It took my mom convincing him to let me go. Like my so shout out, let me give my flowers also to Carlos, bro. Carlos was the dude who owned the first team that I was ever on that sent me to my first tournament outside of state.
mm,
So he sent me to Absolute Battle in Texas, and my dad didn't even want to let me go to Evo, bro. Like my mom had to literally like tell him like this is gonna be a problem if you don't let him do what he wants to do.
yeah,
Sometimes,
yeah,
my dad
yeah.
was strict.
Old school
My dad was strict when
mentality.
he was alive. Yeah, yeah. He was like, bro, because he would see me play in the game of the tournament, but I never really brought any success home. Like, like I
Yeah,
played
same,
games,
same with
but
my dad.
like I never like I started when the first time I actually won money from fighting games in a tournament setting was like 2016 in the online tournament. Like I won like $50. I was like, damn, this is the most money I ever won. I've never had that much money in my wallet, bro. $50. Like I felt balling. I was like a sophomore in high school or something like that.
Did your I can't quite remember. I don't think it was, but did your father pass away before you won Evo or after?
Before I went Evo, yeah. So
Wow.
no. He passed away in 2020. He got diagnosed with cancer the year I went Evo. So
Oh, okay.
that was a big motivation too. Like
Yeah,
when I'm
yeah.
talking about struggles and obstacles, like I was dealing with my parents not letting me travel. I was dealing with being broke. I was dealing with being a kid. I was dealing with never like flying before. Like I was
Yeah.
dealing with
When your father just gets diagnosed with cancer.
my dad got diagnosed with cancer in 2018. And so he got diagnosed. So I go to Combo Breaker, get my first top 8 ever, right? Life's good. Next month before CEO, parents, we're gonna go to doctor real quick and then come right back. They don't tell me nothing. There's no concerns that have been told. This is we're gonna go doctor. I think it's a normal doctor appointment. You come home, they're like, we gotta talk to you. I'm like, keep in mind, I'm feeling good off Combo Breaker. CEO's around the corner.
Yeah,
I got a
life's good.
sponsor.
Yeah.
I got a sponsor. Like, I'm like, mom, I'm gonna start traveling. I'm gonna start, I got my first top 8. They seeing medals come through. Because in my first top 8 at Combo Breaker, I got top 8 at Injustice 2 and MKX. So it was like, yo, I got 2 medals at my first, tournament. And that was the first time I ever went to Combo Breaker. So the first time I was ever gonna go to CEO also was in 2018 because I never traveled. Like literally my own tournament was like Evo.
Yeah.
So they come home, they're like, yeah, your dad has cancer. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, all right, that's already devastating information. But then I'm like, all right, I'm still aware enough. Like I'm 6. No, how old am I? I'm 17 at the time.
Yeah.
And 17, and I'm like, what stage? Because I know the stage of cancer that you're in is a huge determining factor on like how much life they damn near have to live, pretty much.
Yeah.
So they said stage 3. I'm like, no. I'm like, no, bro. There's just no way. How? Because my dad has always been like a super strong dude. I wouldn't say the healthiest dude, but he's always been like a buff dude, strong, but he was definitely like a dude who didn't go to the doctor, nothing like that. So he only went to the doctor when something was too late, like it was too bad that he couldn't just like go sleep, get over it later or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, they come home and then drop that news, and I'm like, damn. So I got to go to CEO. Like, I'm like, it's hard, bro. You're like thinking of all
Yeah.
those things while you're competing,
Yeah.
and I'm a kid. I'm like thinking like, damn. I'm like, so you telling me I'm not gonna have my dad when I'm like 20? You feel me? Like,
Yeah, man, I can't even imagine.
some people are very close with their parents too. So you couldn't. Some people can't even imagine taking away one of them.
Yeah, man, I'm very close to my parents. I don't know how I would respond
You feel me?
when that happens.
And
That's
think
gonna
about
be
where you were at 18,
I would just
17 actually. But yeah, so I went to
crazy.
Evo or CEO, and I got that was my first time ever going to CEO, and I was still going crazy, bro. I still for some reason I don't know why tournaments gaming has always been my escape. You know,
Mhm.
so like anytime I go to the tournaments, for some reason I've always had my best performances when I've had the worst shit in my life going on at the time. Like
Man.
catastrophic. Yeah. I've always had like crazy runs. Like for some reason, every time I go to these tournaments, it's almost like everything else doesn't matter
Yeah,
temporarily.
yeah, for sure. I mean, kind of just use that as fuel as well to just
Feel motivation, like,
yeah, motivation
and
for sure.
for me, I wanted to show like I actually managed to clutch it out and win Evo before he passed. And in the city, like I was still living with my dad, still in Vegas. Like I literally was like, I remember he called me. He was like, he didn't even know he was not watching the tournaments.
Yeah.
He just like, all right, good luck, and then that's it. Like, yeah, at that time, in 2018, when my dad got diagnosed, he was still looking healthy. Like, cancer isn't like immediate. Like he still looked like the same dad that I knew before he got diagnosed. So he still looked normal. And he was like, all right, good luck. He ain't thinking I'm gonna go win it.
Yeah.
So he calls me. He was like, so how's the tournament? He was like, I just left. And I was like, Dad, like I won the whole thing. And then I couldn't even remember what he was saying, honestly. Like, I couldn't remember. It was definitely excitement. You definitely couldn't believe it. And then the second thing he asked me was how much I won. Like the
Yeah,
second
of
thing.
course.
He was like, how much he didn't even say I won. He said we. Like, he was like, how much we win? And then I think I told him like 9 grand or something like that. I had like no money.
Yeah.
Bro, because back then tournaments took an eternity to pay out, bro.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
I didn't get my Combo Breaker winnings till like the end of the year, and Combo Breaker happened in May. Like, I got paid from Evo before Combo Breaker, like, and then so I got money from Combo Breaker, but I didn't even have it yet. So I went Evo and I get 9 grand and shit. And then I'm like, damn, like that was the first time I ever touched. That was like money that just came out of nowhere. It was like, damn, I went from broke to still broke in reality, but a lot of people don't have 9 grand, like
Yeah, not at 17, 18 years old.
I
Yeah.
was 17, bro. So like I want Evo. And then I told him, and then it was crazy. And then for some reason, yeah, everything just kept. And think about that, bro. Like, dad got diagnosed with cancer in June, and then I went Evo in August, and then I get top 3 at SCR. The SCR was the tournament right after Evo for us. This was the next tournament circuit. So I didn't travel to nothing. There was nothing to travel to between Evo and SCR. So I go to SCR and I get sent to losers round 1 by Han.
Han Rashid.
Bro, he sends me to losers round 1, the tournament right after I won Evo. In his city though, like he lives in Cali. So like he sends me losers in his city. So I'm being looked at as like the West Coast GOAT right now, like it's Sonic, and then there's Rewind. Like that's what 2018 was looking like. It was just me and him. That's it. Like it's like who's winning the tournament? It has to be one of those two. And then I go SCR, get sent to losers round 1, and then I go on a fucking crazy run and get third. Like I beat Han, I've been the run back. I reverse 3-0'd like 4 people. Like it was disgusting. Like and then so then I get top A, and then at IPS finals, right? The tournament that I won still to this day, the biggest bag I ever got, it was like 20K or something. Like I never had that kind of money. Like
Hell yeah.
so I won like 20K, and then my dad's in his hospital bed watching me on TV
Wow.
because they actually aired IPS finals on ESPN 2 and 3 at the same time. So IPS finals was literally on ESPN 2 and 3. When I told my dad that, I was like, Dad, and the funny thing is you had to get top 4 to get on TV.
Yeah.
You literally, they didn't stream nothing but top 4. So I literally told my dad before I went to the tournament, I'm like, I'm gonna get on TV for you. But I didn't even know that was the rule before.
You thought you were on TV already, like
I thought I was on TV the moment the tournament started.
yeah.
And then we get there and they're like, you got to get top 4. Top 4 is TV spot. We only got an hour, And then I told my dad, I'm like, fuck, no, I gotta get top 4. And I know I can't do that. I got grand finals.
Yeah.
So I knew I could do it, but it was like that additional pressure of knowing like, damn, my dad's in his hospital bed. He's not doing good. He was doing horrible. He was about to go into surgery, So I was like, damn. He was in the hospital bed, like had TV on the corner. You know how it's nasty in the hospital. Like it's in the
bro,
corner. It's like not even an HD TV. Like, so he put on ESPN 2 and he was like, I was watching you. I was watching the whole thing. I watched the whole thing. He told me he watched the whole thing, bro. So it's crazy that my dad wouldn't even let me travel 2 years prior, and then he was watching me on ESPN. Like 2 years later.
Did you win that tournament or you got second?
I got second.
Who won?
Sonic.
Sonic.
So it was funny. He reversed 3-0'd me in winners finals to get winners side grand finals, and then he beat me. It was Joker, Batman. It was canon, bro. It was canon, bro. So yeah, it was crazy. So if anybody thinks like fucking they got struggles, like you got, I'm not saying not discrediting anybody's struggles, but if you just think like, oh, like I just don't got the time to be good, bro. Like motherfuckers got no time that are good. Motherfuckers got kids that are good.
Yeah.
People got dying fathers that are still competing and are winning tournaments, So the only reason I said all that was to say, like, don't give up, basically, because I could have gave up, bro. I could have been like, man, fuck this. I
gotta get a job. I gotta help support with the hospital bills. I got responsibilities. I gotta man up. All that.
Yeah, bro. Like, just don't give up, bro. If you're really passionate about something, of course. Like, at the end of the day, don't put your priorities first. Like, I was just fortunate enough that I was a kid at the time. Like,
well, yeah. So let's talk about.
If I was a grown
priorities.
man, I wouldn't have done that. I think.
Okay, so you're a grown man now, though, right? How old are you now?
I'm 23.
23. Okay, maybe not grown man, but you're a man now, and
I'm a grown man, bro. I got my own house.
Oh, okay, then grown man vibes. Okay, I fuck with that. But obviously now, like you and I, we've gotten real close over the past year. And we've had a lot of conversations about our lives and et cetera, where we're at in our careers with fighting games and work. We've been through the tough times of not having the sponsors or not having the money and all of that. and competing in a game where there was no money. And obviously, there's some money now, but I don't think uh, some audience members understand the harsh realities of being a professional fighting game player. You and I have had this conversation before, but my question for you is many people don't understand our lifestyle as pro gamers, the reality of being in that 1% and not making money. We got to divert our attention to content and constant streaming to make bread, exhausting, stressful tournament conditions, amongst many more things like needing a job and why that's vital to our success as a man. Like, what has your experience been like as a top player? Can you shed some light on the challenges you face now, even though you're an Evo champ and even though you're a second place finalist at Evo as well and IPS, etc.? You're one of the greatest NRS players, yet you work a blue collar job and you don't have as much time anymore. You just mentioned it. Luckily, you were a kid before and you had the time to be able to put in, but now you don't have the time to be able to put into it. And specifically for Mortal Kombat, because you guys don't have the money that we do over in Street Fighter and now Tekken. That was very surprising and very shocking once Street Fighter announced the million and MK
2
did
million.
not. Yeah, 2 million and MK did not. And to this day, you guys, let's just be real, you guys do not have the money that you're supposed to. You do not have the prize payouts that you're supposed to, that you guys deserve.
Bro, because everybody knows Mortal Kombat.
So
Yeah.
you guys sell more copies than Street Fighter in the United
Any fighting
States
game.
than any fighting game. Yeah. But you don't have the money for it. So what has it been like now for you in terms of your training and having this job? And how do you view your competitive career? Wouldn't it be nice if we made millions of dollars like basketball players or anything like that?
Yeah,
If I was getting
I can
paid
tell you,
millions, bro, I would be in the lab all day. I would never leave. That's why
bro,
when basketball players miss free throws, I'm like, how do you miss a free throw? You are getting
for
paid
real, bro.
millions of dollars to just be in the gym for 5-6 hours working on that free throw. Like how? How do you miss?
Yeah, I'm surprised like owners of teams don't like get mad at people who got below a 50% free throw percentage. I don't know. But like that's what I'm saying because we're competing for a million. It's not like NBA players are competing for the money.
Yeah.
They're competing for a championship.
Yes.
They're all paid.
Yes.
They're all the dude on the doesn't get no play time is more paid than me by 30 million. Like it's disgusting. And you know, I'm gonna to answer your question, like in one sad like it's this is one sad thing that's happened to me multiple times, but it's so cool though. It's so fucking fire, but it kind of makes me sit back and think like, man, this is it kind of sucks at the same time because like I've been recognized in public non-gaming settings before. Like I got recognized at my job. I've been to a customer's house where the guy recognized me and just thought that was the most craziest thing. I went into a I got recognized at my other job by a coworker. I was in school in a classroom where a dude was watching me versus Sonic at We Play,
Yeah.
and he doesn't even know I'm in his classroom.
Wow.
So I'm like, that is kind of insane how much I'm getting recognized, and I am not bagged up. You know? I'm like, I got so much like in theory, like clout and like I got so much notoriety. Like I'm noticed, like people are like watching me. Like I'm it's not like I'm just popular in my community, you know? I'm popular in like to people who play video games. Like I've my mom's coworker, once she found out she was my mom, he freaked out. You know, he knew me, but he didn't know my mom was working in his kitchen. Like, you know, like it's crazy. That's the thing about like being I don't know, it's more so being an NRS player, but kind of being a fighting game player. In reality, my reality is everybody's reality. Like it's not just like as an NRS player. It's kind of like the FGC thing. You know, we're just not as paid. We never been that paid.
Though I think, sorry to interrupt, but I think that when you look at the lifestyle of NBA players and football players and players that are competing at the same level that we're competing in, they are competing at the highest level. We're competing at the highest level. Their lifestyle with the Lamborghinis and the mansions and anything
Yeah,
like
I'm
that.
better at MK
I,
than some people in the NBA are
of
being a
course,
basketball player.
of course,
Like
100%.
it's just esports is younger. That's
Yeah.
another thing. And
I-
the FGC is even. It's kind of sad though. The FGC is older than most esports. That's the sad part.
That lifestyle, though, when we, at least for me, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna agree with me here. But that lifestyle never attracted me to want to pursue that type of lifestyle with the money that I should be making from gaming. All I wanted to do with gaming was to provide for my mom and dad, was to give back to my mom and dad. It was like to have money that I could say, "Hey, mom, dad, look, the gaming paid off. Like I can take care of you now. You don't got to worry about the bills. I may not be making millions and millions of dollars. I'm not going to buy you like a Ferrari or anything like that, but the house is covered. Everything is covered on me now. I just wanted to be able to make that type of money for all the years that I put into this, you know? And it's slowly getting there, but that was my goals with wishing the type of money that we had, man. Because now
Originally, yeah.
we have those jobs now, you know, like now I work full time as a teacher. I'm in school full time. Like it's not easy, man.
It isn't easy being to answer your question too. It isn't easy being like a dude who works a blue collar job and gets home and has to compete like with the best who also don't work. Like that's my biggest thing too. Is like I work. It's so crazy being on these pedestals and being on these having all these expectations that I have on me because my play has still not really seen a huge dramatic dip despite me working.
Yep.
Because I started working full time in the pandemic. You know, like when
Yeah.
it got bad.
Same here.
That's
Same
what
here.
made me start working.
Same here.
I
100%.
was a full time gamer and had to stop because the pandemic was just ruining esports. Like,
Yep. Yep. I had gotten
and that's when I
ninth
got
at
into
Capcom
content.
Cup. Yeah, I had gotten ninth at Capcom Cup, and then I just
Oof,
didn't have any money.
that sucks.
I
Yeah,
was
I ain't
like,
gonna
yeah, I'm
lie.
about to get sponsored, and there, yeah, I just got ninth. Nope. And then
Damn,
I'm
yeah.
broke.
Oof, fuck, man. Not the Capcom Cup. I
Yeah,
ain't gonna
no,
lie.
let's not go into that. But yeah,
I ain't
bro,
gonna lie.
like,
That's the worst. But anyways, yeah, it's hard, bro, because like people like don't know all of our personal situations. They only know what they see on stream or on tournaments. Like they don't know, they don't see when I lose to like Sonic or Ninja. That damn Sonic, like he does this for a living. Ninja, he does this for a living. Like Rewind, he tries to do this for a living, but this nigga got like he works
9 to
fucking
5 and
45 hours a week.
45, yeah.
Like I'm literally, I can't even think of. I'm trying to think. There's not. I think maybe Unjust, a Mighty Unjust, random player. You probably don't know him, but he's really relevant in our scene. The Mighty Unjust. He's probably the only other top player in our scene that has a job, bro. I don't know any player like there is, and it's just it's hard, bro. It is hard, but for some reason I'm just so competitive that I still try to be the best, even though I'm hindered by I'm handicapped to
Yeah,
an extent.
it is a handicap. It's an extreme handicap. It's an
I'm
extreme
handicapped.
handicap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
It's not
hard,
even
but
like it's not even trying to sugarcoat anything. No, like that is a handicap.
it's reality, bro. It
It's
is.
facts.
And the only reason I don't give it up, and I'm gonna be honest, bro, the reason why I am still here and competing is because it's still bringing me in revenue. You know,
Yes, yes, of course.
it's like two things. I want to compete. If okay, that's how you know it's not just for the money. Because if it was just for the money, I wouldn't be competing. Let's
Yeah,
be honest.
yeah.
Like I compete because I go because I want to compete for the people who root for me and support me and think I should be up there with those guys. And I compete because I still feel like I could beat those guys. Like it's hard for me to stop competing when I feel like I'm not washed up yet. You know,
Hmm.
like until I'm washed, I don't know. You know,
Yeah, I feel the same way where I feel like well, keep going, keep going.
yeah. Like imagine like me, like I just like I'm just like man, this blue collar shit is taking up too much of my day. I just want to get home and chill. You know, like most people. Most people get off their job and they chilling with their family. Like I get off this game and like I gotta try to figure out if I want to stream or not. I gotta figure out if I'm gonna make like I'm trying to think of a video for the title for the next video. Like I'm not just a player too. Like I'm a content creator. Like I was one of the first NRS players aside from like Honeybee and like maybe Rio and Tom Brady to really break into YouTube and like and really like try to push out videos. Like NRS players were sleep on that shit for
Yeah.
like once the pandemic hit, bro, I started uploading like every couple days. Like like I was trying to because I started to realize like bro, this competition shit isn't everything. Like it's starting to shift away from who's the best. It's starting to shift from who got the most subscribers. You know, like these teams want people that are not only good, they want people that can push their brand to new heights. Like they're trying, like if you're good, that doesn't really sell tickets all the time. In esports, sometimes you gotta
No, it
have
doesn't
a bit.
anymore. Your resume could be stacked with tournament
Stacked.
wins, but yeah, you have
It depends on what tournaments too. Like not just any tournament matters. Like
yeah,
it's really hard to make in esports. In NBA, all you really got to be is good.
yeah.
You got to be good, and you got to be and then at the next step is like, do you have charisma and all that shit? Like in esports, it's like you can't just be good and get a team no more. You gotta be content creator. You gotta have clout. It is hard, bro. It's different than it was. It's harder to be an esport player nowadays.
Especially if you have that job as well. I don't.
Shit. Yeah.
You know how you said, you lose to these guys and then you wonder, like, do they think, man, Sonic don't got a job. He does this full time and Ninja does it full time. But like
And that's
Rewind is
when you
actually
can't
like
care
a
about exactly. It just
exactly.
sucks
But
too.
like, because you know the truth, like you know the reality of that situation that you're in.
And I knew the kind of dog I was when I had no job too.
Yes,
That's
bro.
the dog.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%. I felt the exact same way that you're talking about when it came to not only the U.S. championships and Street Fighter League, but the World Championship as well. I was the only guy on that stage that has a full-time job and is in school full-time, trying to get my master's, and I had to somehow be able to still be on par with all the players that were on that stage in the World Finals. So it's just there's harsh realities that you have to be able to accept. And that was something that I was willing to accept at the time. That's why the matches that I lost to Tokido and Sako, it didn't have too much of an effect on me because I know the work ethic that I put in, given the amount of time I was actually given, and
Yeah.
and all I wanted was for Mena to see that work ethic, so that way he knew that Chris had that dog in him the entire time.
Yeah,
That
and at
he,
least that Chris wasn't just like there.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it
And I
feels good
still
to just
and I still took
yeah.
a game off them motherfuckers too.
That's what I'm saying. Like it feels good to know you're just not just there floating around like getting carried.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Like it's like, bro, I'm trying to make your life easier, better. Like
But anyway, okay.
if I
So
could take
let's.
one dude, but no, I get you though. But yeah, it's rough. But at the end of the day, like it is what it is. Like I'm
It
not
is what
salty or
it is.
anything.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like I'm not salty or anything about people having more time. Like at the end of the day, if I wanted to, if I was that salty, I should have won more shit earlier, so I
Yeah,
didn't have
so
to
you
have a
didn't have
job.
exactly, exactly.
You
But
know,
a lot of us
like
don't
that's
have that ability now, and I feel like
exactly.
it's really important for players to also know that you should. My advice would be to also have that safety net. Like I know people say like, "Oh, pursue your dreams" and this and that. I'm a big advocate in that, but I'm also an advocate in you being a smart man and making sure that you at least have some sort of safety net that you can fall back on, and that's typically the route of education or getting a really
Yeah,
solid
and a lot of
job
people need to
and
be educated on
experience.
that
Yeah,
before
yeah,
they try to become a pro player in
yeah.
any form or fashion.
And
Like
you don't
even
understand how difficult it is, how cutthroat it is in this.
it gets hard. There's a lot of people who wasted a lot of life
Yes,
to be at the top, and like they end up being like 30 plus, and they ain't got much to show for it. They got some medals and shit, but they got some clout, but that
yeah.
clout don't pay your rent.
What
Like so.
what happens when you're no longer good at the game, or when you're gonna have a family,
Exactly.
and the only thing on your resume is you're a fighting game player? Like,
You
how are
know.
you gonna provide for a wife and kids?
Yeah.
Or just some
There's some
kids, a
dudes.
rent, taking care of yourself if you don't have any skills, if you don't do anything with your life. That's why you have to continue to pursue different avenues of, careers and whatnot.
Yeah, at some point you got to be an adult and be like, okay, like I gotta hold it down. Like I love games, but
That
like
shit
I
ain't working
gotta,
out no more, bro. How many bums have you seen? Rewind. All these
bro.
years, bro. How many bums have we came
I see it.
across? With all due
Yeah,
respect,
right, right.
you don't want to be a bum. You do not
You
want to
can't
be a
even,
bum.
and this isn't even a toot my own horn, bro. Not at all. But you can't even be rewind and make this shit like profitable enough to survive off of. You know,
Yeah.
like if I were to quit my job right now, I could not afford my house. Like, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
my job is what provides me most of my living, but I got my job through gaming. Like I paid for my school from the winnings that I got from tournaments, like so I instead of holding on to like a pipe dream and holding on to my money and trying and an assumption that more's coming, I was like, I'm going to take the buttload of money that gaming has got me and be grateful that I won it when I did, and and just put it into school, and I got a career out of it, you know?
Young
I
man's game. It's a young man's game, bro. It's a
and now
young
I do
man's game.
exactly, and now I just do both, you know?
Yeah.
I could have been still like, "Man, this is bullshit, like, I should be hella paid, and I still have no job and no resume." Like, "Nah, fuck that." I was like, "Alright, I'd rather be stable and salty
Yes.
than
And be broken salty.
broke and salty, bro." Like,
Can't, bro. That's why I
nah,
got a
for real.
ton of respect for you, bro. Because we're both in that same exact position.
It's the
And
same position, bro. It's
yeah,
the same
yeah.
position.
But let's talk
And,
about the game, man. I got one last question for you here. There's been a lot of controversy with the release of MK1. Can you list off some of the concerns the community has, such as gameplay, communication, balance, online, all of those factors? To give a little context, my personal issue with MK is that it always feels like the same game to me. Like MK1 feels like MK11.5. MK11 felt like MKX.5. MKX felt like MK9, but a little bit wilder. The system mechanics, for some reason, MK don't feel as drastic as the switch ups from Street Fighter 4 to 5 to 6. It feels like it's the same game. I don't know what it is, bro. Can you please enlighten me about that? It literally feels like it's the same game, but a little bit of an update. What's going on, and what are some of the issues that you're noticing and the community's noticing right now?
I think your issues with the game are definitely not the issues. I think that's your opinion. But, as far as
That's definitely an opinion.
as
That's
far
more
yeah, as far as,
opinionated
like,
for sure.
MKX feeling like MK9.5, I think that's cap. I think the mechanics in each game have been drastically different, and they have made the
Okay.
game super. I think being an NRS player is one of the hardest things, I think. I think being an NRS this is gonna be a hot take. It's gonna be a
Let's
hot
get it.
take. I think being
Do
an
it.
NRS player is, underratedly hard, and people don't know how hard it is to be an NRS player and stay on top when your game changes so much every 2 years. Think about it. We went from MK to Injustice to MK to Injustice, like, every 2 years. Street Fighter 5.
Oh man, I wanna bite back right
Hey,
now, bro.
listen,
I don't
listen.
know
Keep
about that
here,
one.
wait,
For
this hot
Street
take.
Fighter,
Let me get my
hot
take.
take. Look, go take your take. Take your
Okay,
take.
so so MK, we've had 4 NRS games in the span of one of your games. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You know, imagine a Street Fighter player is like, "Man, I could be better." You got MKX, comes in MKX, and then they like get smoked, leave, and come back, and they're like, "Okay, now I'm ready to dedicate to MKX." It's like, "Sorry, buddy, we're on Injustice 2 now. You're gonna start over and learn again." Like, I know
Hmm.
whatever progress you made in MKX, it doesn't matter. We're in Injustice 2 now. And then they try
Hmm.
Injustice 2, and they're like, "Ah, man, maybe later." And then they come back, "Sorry, bro, we're on MK11." Like,
Hmm.
you can't just like take
I see what you're saying. You're saying that the learning of mechanics is like very very fast
yeah,
for you guys. You have
exactly.
to
And
learn
the
the
mechanics are
meta very
different, bro. It is
quickly.
not the same game. In MK1, there wasn't even a fucking breaker in MK11. We have breaker in MK1 again. Like breaker wasn't even MK11. They had breakaway. It wasn't the same thing. It was a whole different thing. We had way more defensive options in MK11 than MKX and 1 and Injustice 2 and MK11 had the most defensive options of any NRS game. Injustice 1 had you couldn't even delay wake up in Injustice 1. Like there was no delay. Injustice 1 introduced traits. There was no such thing as a trait until Injustice came out. And then MK has been notorious for the block button. Injustice doesn't have a block button. So we had to learn. For us NRS players, we had to learn how to.
Oh no, not a block button. Oh
Yeah,
god, no
but people
block.
struggle to learn how to utilize the block button. Like people who don't
Oh
play block button
man.
games, they get on an NRS game and they're like, I can't move. It's like, no, bro, you have to
I can't move, bro. I can't
exactly,
move because of the
exactly,
block
because you're
button.
used to moving while defending. You're
Yes.
used to just holding back, and it's like, damn, I could cover both. I could cover mids and block. Like I could walk back and try to catch a whiff at the same time. It's like when you're when you're in a NRS player, you have to create whiffs. You can't just walk back. Like, no, you have to dash block. You have to, you have to in order to make movement happen. Movement is more skilled in NRS than it is in Street Fighter. Street Fighter is just walking and creating. Doesn't mean that anybody could just go in Street Fighter and just have godlike
Oh,
footsteps
of
though. Like
course, of course. It's so funny how you always feel the need to be able to like that doesn't mean this, and it's because we live in a world that's
people are
so
defensive.
so defensive and so
People are like,
like
"Oh my god,
offended.
he
Or
thinks
is
Street
that
Fighter is
exactly what
easy.
you?
All right, go
Oh,
beat Angry Bird." Like, all right, bro.
bring
Like
out the
nobody said
pitchforks.
that.
Bring out the pitchforks. You know, like it's all right. It's
Yeah,
all
it's a
right.
difference of it's a different game. Like,
I know what you mean.
it's a
Yeah.
different game, bro. Like, I saw Dialogue, who's an NRS player. He hasn't really made the crazy. He's on the come up, but Dialogue is a dude who doesn't even have. Street Fighter 6 is his first game. Like Street Fighter, like He never grinded. He barely grinded Street Fighter. Like, he's an NRS player, bro. He just went to Evo to play Street Fighter because he was kind of playing it on the side. And this fool beats nephew and eliminates nephew and beats Sheehan. Like, what? Dialogue beat Sheehan and nephew, and these fools grind? Like, so, well, Street Fighter 6 is its own demon though. Like, that's people.
It is. So we'll definitely talk about that.
It's own demon. But as far as
yeah.
But you have to think, like,
but
the games are just different. Listen, the games are just different though. Like, so every game, like, think about it. I think it's more impressive to be good at MK9X. So when did Street Fighter 6 come out? 2015, 16. Street Fighter 5 came out in 2016.
2016.
It ended in 2023.
Yeah.
I think it's more impressive if you were a top player in MKX, Street Fighter, if you were impressive at MKX, Injustice 2, MK11, we've had 3 NRS titles. If you were elite, it just sucks, bro. It's all perspective too, because obviously the next argument is Street Fighter is more global than MK.
I was literally waiting for you to get done spewing that hot garbage so I could literally tell you how
it's all perspective
fucking hard it is to be a top player.
I guess it's not hard dirt. It's not hard dirt. It's just hard in a different way. It's like a different way of being hard, you know?
I can 100% see.
It's just different. It's not hard dirt. Street Fighter, you're fighting dudes like, bro, fucking Uma.
I'm sorry, bro. Nobody will be able to convince me otherwise. Street Fighter is the hardest competition, period, in any fighting game, period. We literally fight against the entire world. We are dealing with everybody.
No, I get you.
Game. And there's more pools of insane killers.
But at least
y'all don't have Japanese killers. I'm sorry, y'all don't have Japanese killers.
Bro, we have a lot of regions though, bro.
You do got a lot of regions, but you haven't tasted the Japanese killers.
You're a Japanese fanboy too.
It's not just being
if you haven't fought a Japanese player, you haven't played fighting games
but the reality is that you haven't, because here's the thing.
There is Japanese MK players. I fought a Japanese MK player.
I'm not saying like
I know when they're all grinding,
you're not better. Well, I'm saying that like when there is a thriving, healthy Japanese community,
I get you.
You're going to have a run for your money in these tournaments as well. Like you can't. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like
I get you. Just
when
Asia
you sit
in
next
general.
to a Japanese guy, or just an Asian player.
Asia in general. I don't even know if MK is like sold in Asia as a whole. I don't know.
I don't think it is. And I'm not trying to come off anyway by saying that, but like
I know there was like there's some Chinese and Japanese MK players that got the game somehow. Like, they just love MK and they just decided to finesse that shit. And I of course I can't, like, they're just one or a couple of people. They're not a whole community.
It's just having more regions. I'm not even just trying to.
I know,
like,
but
talk about the Japanese.
The real thing is the real. If we're being honest, people are more focused on Japan being the region that can't play MK than any other region. Like, it's not like we're gonna be like, man, freaking I'm trying to think of a region that nobody knows.
Well, no, I don't know. No. I mean, like, think about like Korea, for example. Like think about.
I get you.
Think about Korea, the Koreans, the Chinese.
I know there's some killers in Mohela Asian regions. Like, they're nasty. Like the grand finals for Capcom Cup was Taiwan versus Hong Kong. Like, it was.
But I see what you're saying. I completely can understand.
My words were wrong by saying harder. That was just pride. Like, I just love MK, and you just want to just wish it was harder. Like.
Okay, so when it comes to the game though, what the hell is going on with MK1 right now? I'm sorry, bro. I bought the game for $110 on PC. It was hot garbage. It was actually hot garbage. The game didn't work. The game didn't work. Reason, there was no crossplay.
They don't prioritize like PC as like they always come out. The PC versions of MKs are always not good. Like, nobody.
And it ain't even just PC,
it's like
bro.
They hope they don't really appeal to the PC community. I don't know why. Like, the games always come out buggy. They always come out weird. Like, the game is like designed to be played on console or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I was just wishing, like, from a Street Fighter player perspective, like, I'm trying to get into your community.
It's different too, exactly, because like, your games are best perform on PC.
Yeah. It's not even just the PC though. Like, I'm talking about, like, I guess, there was a video that we had done where you were trying to teach me the game as well.
Yeah.
I feel like the gameplay isn't attractive enough for me to really want to compete in MK. I don't know what it is. Like, I felt like when I watched MKX, that game was so fun to watch and to play. I played a little bit of MKX as well. But I guess my issue has been like, why do you guys not have money in it? And that would be the only reason why I would put any time into MK, because I'm so focused on Street Fighter, was to get a little bit of money out of it. But it's also because I love the lore of MK and I have so many homies in MK and I want to be able to play with you guys as well and have a good time with the boys. But like, what's up with the communication? What's up with the money? What's going on with this game right now?
I mean, as far as like the money and shit, that's all back end stuff that I have no part in explaining. I don't know why they don't have money, but like that's beyond us. You guys realize like Mortal Kombat's owned by like Street Fighter's owned by Capcom. NetherRealm is owned by fucking Warner Brothers. Like Warner Brothers is beyond.
They got more money.
That's what I'm saying. They got more money, but like they're more corporate. So it's like that's stuff we don't like. That's where you start getting into Illuminati type money. Like we're not. This is money that we don't know comes from. We don't have any say. We're not even people to those people. Like us complaining about the 1% of people in the freaking, not even one. Like I don't even know what percentage of the FGC makes up the entire 100% that buy the game. Like if like this tiny ass community is complaining that there's not enough money in it, but 99% of people don't really care that much, and you already got them to buy the game, what incentive do they feel to put out more money? It's like, I could understand it from a business perspective, but we just are salty because we know they got the money to give, but we can't do anything because it's like trying to beg a millionaire for $1, like, and you got nothing to give them. Like, I don't know, like.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like the relationship that you talked about earlier, that symbiotic where I benefit, you benefit.
Exactly. It's just we want it because we just feel like I feel like we deserve it though, because we're diehard fans though. Like
yes.
We're over
I
here.
don't think they understand the level of sacrifice and commitment you have to give,
especially
in
as
order to even be this good.
And there's people who buy your games just because they watch the tournaments. Like we are, as a competition, even though we are a small percentage of the people who buy MK, we are putting money in their pockets. There's people who buy MK because they want to be the next Sonic Fox. They want to be the next NSK. Like, we can't discredit that pro players aren't they aren't benefiting Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers is benefiting from the FGC.
100%, 100%. Because who wants to watch a tournament of a game where
they just want to benefit?
Playing?
Exactly. They just want to benefit without really putting much out besides the game. They want to put out the game and then reap the sales, but they'll give us like a pot. It's not like we don't have a pot, but it's not like Street Fighters.
It ain't anything crazy. Yeah, that's why I'm happy to see your content doing so good, and you got like almost 60,000 subscribers on YouTube. You're about to break that 100,000 probably by the end of the year. And I do have one other thing to mention about MK that's bothered me more so than the games feeling like each other. I wish MK
bro, you got the worst take on MK at any Street Fighter.
Nah, come on, man. They all feel like
I've had Mena RD say he likes.
Opinion.
I've heard Mena say he likes MK. I've heard Punk say he likes MK. Like,
yeah,
there's people who like MK that play Street Fighter, that are high level Street Fighter players. It's like, damn, out of all the people who just shit on MK from Street Fighter, the good ones think they like it actually. I'm like, what, like. Because there's like mediocre Street Fighter players who shit on MK. It's like, bro, wash you in that shit.
No, I'm not even trying to like shit on it. Because I love
you're giving your opinion.
You're
just giving your opinion.
I'm saying my opinion when I play.
It comes from like Chris T's opinion, not like from a Street Fighter player's perspective.
Yes, exactly. It's just, to me, it always felt it's just the same.
I agree with you though, as far as like the
button. Yeah, it's like you whiff 3 normals for you to be able to whiff punish somebody. Like, because if you try to whiff punish the first button, there's 2 other buttons that are following it. Or like the famous one for me is like,
bro, that
you do
is
a button
your
that's
Street
negative
Fighter perspective.
I know. I'm saying it's personal as well. But like the one thing that I absolutely will stand on until I die is that MK has the worst teching system I've ever seen in a fighting game.
Street Fighter's just straight guess.
To have to guess?
Nah, bro. Street Fighter's just as much of a guess.
No.
Okay, think about this. I know teching sucks, but I seen more people tech throws in MK than Street Fighter. Like, I see niggas get shimmied endlessly in that game. Like, I either see people get shimmied endlessly.
Teching is easier. I think teching is.
Yeah, but since it's easier, I think it's more skill in teching in MK than Street Fighter.
you literally have to guess, is he going to throw me in the corner or is he
Hey,
going to
but
throw me in
okay,
the
hear me out.
opposite
Hear me
direction?
out.
That is absolutely
Hear me out.
insane.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
All right, I'm listening.
Because all right, hear me out. I might change your perspective on this. I might at least give you more perspective on it than you already have, and then you might think
Let
about
me
it
get
different.
that. Let me
Because
see the
right now you're
perspective.
thinking like, this is just dumb. If I know he's gonna throw, I should be able to tech it. You know, like.
Yes, exactly.
But in Street Fighter, it's so easy that it tempts you to just do it. You know, and like you're like, I just feel like he's gonna throw here, and you get shimmied. You know, it's like
Okay, and then you die for it though.
yeah, you die, but you could die from throwing an MK. I hate grabbing people in MK. You think grabs are
Yeah, but I'm
overpowered in
saying
MK?
when you're on the defensive perspective, like what I'm saying is you could tech a
No,
throw,
but think
but you
about it.
could
I think
tech
there's
the
more.
wrong way.
No, no, no.
in
I know,
MK.
but there's more. There's more. I think there's more depth. You know how there's like more depth. There's more depth to teching in MK than there is to Street Fighter.
There is, but sometimes depth doesn't necessarily mean better.
No, I didn't say better. I said more.
There's more depth, but
I said there's more skill to teching throws in MK.
I don't know about
There's
that
more
one.
depth.
I just feel
Bro,
like
there
it's
is skill because there's a whole nother layer. It's like, is he gonna throw me backwards right here? And then you have to like, it's like if you're in the corner, if you got your opponent in the corner and he lands a poke on hit and he goes for the throw, and you're like, I mean, I'm just gonna tech back every time because in theory I'd rather him throw me forward than backwards.
correct.
In Street Fighter, it's like I just got to worry about teching, period. You know. But because of that extra layer, you're having to just think more about that one decision. And if you're playing a dude who sucks and just throws you the most conventional way possible, you're going to take every throw.
Man,
Because, but think about it, you can react to throws in MK. You can't react to Street Fighter.
yeah, you can. You can react to throws. Yes, that's one good thing about it.
That's what I'm saying. But
I just wish
think
that it just didn't have that.
You just wish it wasn't a guess. But
Yeah, man.
But
Like,
you might as well complain about Tekken too. You know, because
Tekken, you can see the arm.
I know, but there are throws where you can't tell. Like I think the 1+2 grabs, like it's
yeah,
that's what I'm saying, bro. So like you're just salty that it ain't Street Fighter Tekken window.
I am salty. But I'm more salty. The most thing that I'm salty.
Injustice 2. Okay, what are you gonna say about Injustice 2? Injustice 2. Injustice 2 had the same tech. You're saying, are you talking about MK or NRS games?
MK.
Okay. Because I was playing Injustice 2.
Because I don't remember Injustice
button.
2 having that. Yeah, Injustice 2 was teching with the throw button. I played Injustice 2
and
just a little bit.
And niggas were getting shimmied endlessly in that bitch. Like,
okay, but explain this.
I guess there is a discipline in taking the throw though. Like, there is a discipline. Like, if you're fighting a dude who just loves Tekken, you can exploit that. But I get it. Go ahead.
Okay, explain this to me. This is the last thing I want to leave off with. This is my biggest problem with MK. Everything that I've said so far.
You got a lot of problems, Nick.
I just want to say this. I love MK. I'm a huge fan of Mortal Kombat. It was a huge part of my life growing up. And I only want MK to succeed. If you guys are eating, if you guys are happy, I'm happy about that. I genuinely have love for the people that I've met in the NRS community. My biggest problem, is what happened to the darkness of Mortal Kombat. What happened to the essence, that evilness of Mortal Kombat? That thing that really attracted me in Mortal Kombat 3 and the Mortal Kombat 4 and other Mortal Kombat games as well. I feel like it's kind of straight away after MKX, that grittiness of Mortal Kombat has not felt the same. It just feels like a lighter game. Obviously, there's fatalities and blood and whatnot, but there was something nasty about MKX, bro. Just the gritty darkness of it. What do you think from your perspective?
I mean, honestly, as far as from that perspective, and that's just from pure MK fan perspective, like, I wish it would go back to the dark essence because that is what I grew up on, you know?
Yeah.
That's like nostalgic right there. You know, the whole darkness, like caves and torches only lighting the caves. Like, there's no light in the caves but torches and shit. Like,
yes.
I mean, from that aspect, I wish it was more dark, and that's what gave it like its almost
uniqueness, its spirit,
its
its own identity.
Yeah. And I just don't know. Like, if you're asking me what's my opinion on that, I agree. I don't know.
You wanted to go back to that.
I wish it was more dark and stuff, but I mean, it's still. I don't know, man. There's so many combinations. Like, we're getting we're getting older. The technology's advancing. NRS is more
You can
likely
make
to.
a dark and you can make a dark advanced technological
I
thing.
guess
I don't know.
I think they could.
I'm
I just don't. Yeah, I don't know.
I hope they do. How about that? I
Yeah, I
hope
mean, I hope they
that
do too.
they yeah, I hope they do.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, I love MK, and as far as MK1, I mean, it's better than MK11 to me. So
that's good. I'm happy that you enjoyed
I
that
at
then.
least like the game more than that game. So that's me giving its flowers immediately. I had nothing positive to say about MK11, but what it brought me, you know, other than what it brought me monetarily. Is that the right way to say? Yeah, what it brought me monetarily, and the fan base and like the memories. I cherish that. I made a lot of memories in MK11. MK11 has contributed to a lot of like where I am now, but that game itself was trash though. And I love MK, but see, this is where it's about to get real, right? I'm a real person. Like I don't hide shit. Like I feel like I would literally not be playing. I would be playing some other fighting game, honestly, if my freaking cult fan base wasn't in MK. You know, that's where I'm at.
Mm,
It sucks to
mm.
say. I built my fan base around MK so hard that it's hard to transition out of it. Rewind, why don't you
Yeah,
play
you're
Street
right.
Fighter? Oh, well, because my fucking YouTube videos don't get no views. My
Yeah,
my Twitch won't pull in the same numbers. Am I
yeah.
willing to lose money to hopefully gain it competition wise? It's like
Nah, nah,
it,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like my fan base is in MK, so it's hard to stray away from it. And my freaking fans, there's some people who won't watch me if I play that shit. There's some
No,
people
I feel
I,
you.
I might
Same
gain more
here.
fans though, new fans, but
Yeah.
it's hard. It's like you have
And
to.
the thing is, bro, is like you're an amazing Street Fighter player as well. Like in the short amount of time that you started learning Street Fighter 6, you were leveling up so fast. And you were the main reason as to why I beat Punk in Street Fighter League US because I practiced against your Cammy. And you don't even play the game. But your footsies and your knowledge of fighting games is at such an elevated level to where I was able to learn how to fight against that character, even though we played for a short amount of time. Like I literally did not run into any camis. It was only you that I would hit up to play. So it's not like you don't even have the skills to be able to get godlike in Street Fighter. I actually took some things from you while you played Ken from my Ken. Like I literally took things that you did with your movement and started applying it in my gameplay as well. So you have the skills to be able to be a Street Fighter player as well, or any fighting game at this point because you're so well skilled in MK. But it's definitely a matter of like the views, the money, the ability to
It's
do
deep. It's
what you
deep.
got to
It
do. It's
really is
deep. It
because
goes
it is
really
coming
deep,
from a
man.
a grown man perspective of a dude who got bills. Like at the end of the day, I got
Yes,
bills, and like
yes.
I could fuck around and play MK and hope to get godlike and get the million, whatever. And I probably could have a good shot if I dedicate, but I have to commit. That's the thing about Street Fighter and Tekken. You got to commit. You can't like half-ass play Street Fighter and Tekken and like be Punk and Mena and Angry Bird and Big Bird. None of those guys are playing MK on the side. You know,
Yep, yep.
all these guys are just playing Street Fighter, bro. Like, I don't see a whole lot of Street Fighters playing shit else. But at the end of the day, what motivation is there to play anything else? There's not much. You know,
There isn't.
I have a lot of temptation to go try other games. Like, oh, there's a lot of money in that. Oh, I have a lot of friends in that game. Oh, like I could probably, But for me, it's like, man, like when I upload videos, like the views aren't the same. Like my fans, like I don't want my fans to call me a sellout. It's all that type of shit. It's like
No, I feel you. I feel you.
and a big reason too. Another big reason is, bro, I'm sponsored by Knights Gaming. Shout out Knights. Like they signed me to be a content creator and Mortal Kombat player. They didn't sign me to be a Street Fighter player. So if I'm fucking around on Street Fighter, I'm gonna feel like I'm actually doing them a disservice because they signed me to be the best MK player I could possibly be. So if I'm sitting here playing Street Fighter, I feel like I'm like trolling, kind of, as an employee. You feel me?
Of course. Yeah, you want to be able
That's
to
like me working for
show
Amazon
them
and
the
I'm
work
over here
ethic.
delivering UPS packages. Like,
Hmm.
you know,
My bro, thank you so much for this conversation, man. I feel like I got to know you so much more from everything that we talked about. I also want to give a shout out to all of your fans that will be tuning into this episode. Thank you for the support that you're doing to the channel and to Rewind's channel as well, and his career throughout MK. Um, my bro, there's going to be a lot of Street Fighter players that listen to this. Where can people find you so they could see you succeed?
um, I mean, rewind NV and NV as in, Nevada, rewind Mines I like picking. I like, bouncing topics off you and seeing how you accept them and what your perspective is. So it was cool. We definitely should do this more often,
I
regardless of it
appreciate
being
that,
a
man.
video. Um,
Yeah, no, for sure.
and shoot, and aside from that, shout out my team for sponsoring me and picking me up. Despite there's a whole lot of negativity surrounding Mortal Kombat amongst casuals, competitors, other FGC, but Knights
Yeah.
still was like, I'm a bank on a Mortal Kombat player still. So shout out Knights for still picking me up and sending me to events and hopefully if anybody's going to Combo Breaker, that's my next event. So I'll see y'all at Combo Breaker. But yeah, shout out the fam and Chris, appreciate. Am I your first non Street Fighter guest?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. I think you're the first MK. You're the first MK player that I got on this, but
What about
I
non
have some
Street
other
Fighter?
yeah, non-Street Fighter, non-Street
And
Fighter for sure.
that's crazy. No, I
Yeah.
appreciate you doing that, bro. Because I mean,
No, I appreciate you
I'd
as well,
rather
man. Your
we're
story is
all a part of
amazing.
one big ass community. It's not just like we're just Street Fighter MK. We're a part of the FGC. So me being on here, it's not just for me. It's for to me to get my name out there. It's to help hopefully spread more. There's gonna be a lot of MK fans that watch your video. You don't got a lot of MK fans on here, so
Yeah, I hope so too,
yeah.
man. And like I said, I just want you guys to eat, man. I hope for the success of MK1 and the titles that come afterwards as well. I love seeing my brothers eat. So I appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. The Street Fighter players, NRS players, wherever you may be, wherever you may be watching from. I hope you guys have a blessed day. If you like the video, like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. And again, thank you so much, my brother. I'll talk to you after this. You guys have a blessed one. Take it easy. Until next time on Talking with T.